Good afternoon. My name's Richard. This is Over and Over again. It's Matchday live. Bodo Glimt versus Arsenal in the Europa League. Of course, we did face these opponents last week, didn't we, at the Emirates? A 3-0 victory in the end, but it was a decent game. Bodo look a good side. This is going to be a tough game in the Arctic Circle. Kickoff is just under 15 minutes away. So stay with us and let's enjoy what's going to be an exciting night of Europa League football. Bodo Glimt versus Arsenal.
Watch Gabriel Martinelli. It's now with Granit Xhaka. Is it going to be the third goal? It is the third goal. Granit Xhaka with it. That seals it.
So, Bodo Glimt versus Arsenal, we say Europa League. This is match day 3, of course, for Arsenal. Of course, we did have one game postponed, and it is the second week running. We are playing this Norwegian side, who gave a good account of themselves last week, didn't they, at the Emirates, I thought, especially in the second half. And we were maybe a little bit fortunate to win that game at 3-0. Anyway, we have got some team news for you, and this is how the teams line up tonight. So, for Arsenal, then in goal, it's Matt Turner. Back four, Ben White's in at right back this week. Rob Holding keeps his place from last week. William Saliba's in instead of Gabriel, and Kieran Tierney is at left back again. The three in midfield, it's Sambi Lokonga. Martin Odegaard comes in from the start this week, and Fabio Vieira keeps his place. So we think Martin Odegaard's going to play in the Granit Xhaka role tonight, with Fabio Vieira more forward in the number 10 position. And then in the front three, Bukayo Saka comes in. Reece Nelson starts on the left-hand side, and it's Eddie Nketiah again through the middle. Of course, he scored in 4 consecutive Europa League starts for Arsenal. If he gets a goal tonight, it will be the first player ever, first British player ever to get 5 goals, 5 starts in a score in 5 consecutive Europa League games. On the bench then for Arsenal, the 2 goalkeepers, Aaron Ramsdale and Carl Hein. You've got Takahiro Tomiyasu, Cedric Suarez. We've got Gabriel. We've got Granit Xhaka, Marquinhos, Martinelli. I've also got some young lads out of the academy. Bradley Ibrahim is on the bench, Matt Smith, and we've got Kayan Edwards as well. So that is how Arsenal line up for Bodo then in their home stadium tonight. This is how they line up. It is Nikita Hacken in goal. Their back four is Alphonse Samsted, Marius Loda, Marius Holbreton, and Bryce Wembangambo. In midfield, it's Hugo Veltsen, Patrick Berg, and the captain Ulrich Saltnes, who there was doubts about his fitness, but he is in the side tonight. And then up front, it's Olga Solbakken, it is Runa Esparjar, and Amar Pellegrino, who's their top scorer this season. In fact, he's a top scorer in the Norwegian first division or top flight football this season. So that is how the teams line up for you tonight. I just need to organise myself here. Give me 2 seconds. I do apologise. A couple of little bits and bobs I need to sort out. But yeah, so there we go. We're about 10 minutes or so away from the kickoff in Norway. It's gonna be an interesting game, this, isn't it? I think Bodo played really well, I thought, last week at the Emirates. They're an attacking side. They like to play football, get the ball forward quickly, yeah, it's going to be tricky. Don't forget, they also play on a artificial pitch as well. So that's another problem for Arsenal. What we're not used to playing on. These games can cause us a lot of problems, can't they? It's difficult sometimes, isn't it, to get your football right and the bounce of the ball and all this kind of stuff. It's a totally different game, isn't it? So we'll see. Obviously, they're used to their pitch. They'll know how to approach the game on it. So it's gonna be a test for Arsenal tonight. You can see by the fact that Mikel Arteta has picked a slightly stronger Arsenal side, hasn't he? Last week, maybe the side was a few more of the fringe players, if you like. But we've got William Saliba in tonight. Ben White's playing tonight. Martin Odegaard starts this game. Saka as well. So he's got a little bit more experience in there. I know it seems strange. Bukayo Saka as an experienced player, but he is now, isn't he? So, you know, players like Mark Quinos have dropped down to the bench. Granit Xhaka, who's played every game, he's getting a rest tonight, which is good. Gabriel as well has not been in the best of form, has he? We mentioned him on the show the other night. He is, of course, on the bench as well. He maybe needs a rest. The Bodo fans, they do like a good jump around because it's cold in Norway, especially in the Arctic Circle where they are based, northern Norway. Apparently, it's not as cold as expected. It's about 8 or 9 degrees there today, so that's not too bad, is it? I suppose, you know, the winter kind of conditions that we have, or not bad winter conditions actually, if you look at it. But I think the pitch is going to be the problem for us tonight. We're going to have to come to terms with that. And of course, don't forget, if Bodo were to win this game tonight, they would go to the top of the group. Now, if you remember what we spoke about on the show the other night, the group winners get a bye in the next round. It's that they've organised the competition a little bit differently this time. So if you win the group, you play basically 2 games less because you get a round. You miss a round out if you like if you win the group. So it's massively important that we do win the group with our squad and stuff like that, squad depth and, you know, the World Cup and all this kind of stuff. So I think it's really important that we do win the group. So avoiding defeat tonight certainly is the first most important thing. Obviously, winning a game puts us in a really, really strong position in this group, doesn't it? And with 2 games to come against PSV, you'd imagine that a 1 win in those 2 games would be enough to seal first place, wouldn't you? So it's a big game tonight, and you can see by the lineup, and you know, Mikel Arteta's taking this game very seriously. He knows the threat that Bodo Glimt obviously posed us last week, and it's just going to be a matter of how we adapt to the conditions, I think, really. And if we adapt to them pretty well, we know we've got the quality to beat this opponent, as we showed last week. It's a big night tonight as well. I want to mention Reece Nelson as well in the starting lineup. I thought when he came on last week, late in that game, he actually played pretty well, didn't he? I thought he caused their defence a few problems. He was running at people, and I think it's a big opportunity for him tonight to, you know, his first start of the season, to maybe stake a claim and say that maybe he's a little bit the forgotten man, isn't he? Because we don't see enough of him. He hasn't played enough games. So it's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? Is he going to be able to step up and put himself back in a frame for maybe some minutes in the Premier League games? We'll have to see. But, you know, on his day, he can be a very good player. I'm not convinced he's good enough to what we need now to take us forward, but we'll see. You know, he's got an opportunity tonight. Let's hope he does well. It'd be nice to get him a goal as well, won't it? You know, he is one of our academy players. I know he seems to have been around for a long time, hasn't he, Reece Nelson? But he's not played that many games, actually. So, big night for him, and let's hope that he has a good game. And let's hope we can keep the momentum going. I think that's important, isn't it? You know, we're winning games at the minute, you know, and we're obviously top of the Premier League, we're top of the Europa League group. Everything's going really well, and I think it's really important that we keep that going. You know, we've got a very, very difficult game at the weekend away at Leeds, and we need to be in the right frame now. Yes, there's obviously concerns with William, Saliba, Bukayo Saka, Ben White, Odegaard all starting this game. Let's hope none of them pick up any injuries tonight, because, you know, we know Gabriel Jesus wasn't in the squad tonight due to a slight injury. They're expecting him to be fit, obviously, for Sunday, but who knows? Let's just hope that he is, because, you know, I think it's important that we've got our best players available for as many of the Premier League games as possible, you know, because it's tough, isn't it? And I say in certain positions the squad isn't maybe strong enough to really sustain a real league challenge over the season. So it's important that we keep everyone fit. And yeah, there's a couple of risky selections tonight. William Saliba has been so important, hasn't he? You know, I don't trust artificial pitches particularly either. You know, you can always pick up injuries, and the recovery seems to take longer after playing on an artificial pitch as well. So yeah, it's a big call that Arteta's made tonight. Obviously, he wants to make sure that we get the right result tonight. It's obviously a team strong enough, you'd imagine, to be able to get a result against the Norwegian opposition, who are the reigning champions in Norway. They've won it 2 years in a row, but I think they're a little bit off the pace this season. They're unlikely to win it for a 3rd season in a row. They've got a lot of ground to make up. Their season, of course, is coming towards an end. They play sort of through the summertime, don't they, and stuff like that. So yeah, they've got not long to go in their season. So yeah, they need to improve really, because they've not done particularly well. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we are 5 minutes away roughly from the kickoff in Norway. There's only, I think, is it 400 Arsenal fans, I think, have been allowed in. It's a small stadium, 8,000 capacity. So yeah, it's an unusual kind of an unusual sort of environment really for Arsenal to be playing in a small stadium, very small away fans allowed, a very small number of away fans allowed, an artificial pitch. So yeah, it's a little bit. It's a lot of things are going to be. Arsenal got to come to terms with a lot of difficulties tonight, and plus an opponent that we saw how good they were last week. So I'm not expecting an easy game here at all. I know we've all predicted victories on the show the other night, and obviously you would imagine we're going to be strong enough to win this game. But they got a very good record at home. They don't often lose games at home, especially in Europe. They've got a really strong record. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really tough game in a really. It's going to be a quite an intimidating atmosphere in Norway. The Arsenal fans tucked away in the corner, 400 or so, have made the trip, and the Norwegians in their yellow kit are letting off some fireworks in the stadium at the moment as the teams are waiting to come out in the tunnel. Arsenal will be in the black kit tonight, the black away kit, of course. And Bodo Glimt will be in their bright yellow, which is a nice kit, you have to say. Matt Turner's in goal again tonight. He had a good game last week, I thought, at the Emirates. He looked a lot more composed, made a couple of good saves. His distribution is still weak. And that's something that, you have to say a little bit surprised that he was signed. Makes me think it wasn't Arteta signing, because he said that he's having to work very hard to improve his distribution. Arteta generally buys players that can fit into his system, and Matt Turner doesn't appear to be able to do that because he wants his goalkeeper to be comfortable with his feet. One of the reasons why we got rid of Bert Leno. So yeah, that's an interesting one. It was quite an interesting interview with Matt Turner last week, I thought, mentioning that really it's not an Arteta signing. Quite clearly it was signed by the American owners, and it could become a problem maybe, but we'll see. I'll say he did have a good game last week, Matt Turner, so let's hope he's on form again tonight, and he can start to really show what he's capable of. Obviously, there's quite a lot of English players in Arsenal's team. Obviously, Ben White, we've got Saka, Nketiah and Nelson. Front three are all English, and a couple of English players on the bench as well. So it's good to see, isn't it? Ramsdale, of course, Bradley, Ibrahim as well, Matt Smith, and Keon Edwards as well. So it's good. I mean, the Bodo Glimt side are mostly made up of Norwegians, actually. There's an Icelandic in the starting 11 and a Russian goalkeeper. Other than that, it's that they're all Norwegian, and not Norwegians on the bench, a couple of Danes as well. So yeah, that seems to be, these countries tend to have a lot of their homegrown players, don't they, in their top sides, and that's the way it works. Of course, Martin Ødegaard, Arsenal's captain tonight, back in his home nation. So he'll know. He'd have known a little bit more what to expect here in Bodo. I don't know if he's ever played in this stadium before. Probably not, because it's been quite a rise up the leagues for Bodo Glimt in recent seasons, actually. So they were probably in the lower division when he was growing up, younger, coming through. So I'm not sure if he's ever played here before. But anyway, obviously he knows what to expect in Norway, and he's going to be an important player tonight. But yeah, it's good to see all the fans in yellow, actually, for Bodo. I say they made a lot of noise last week at the Emirates, and it made it a good atmosphere and a good game. Let's hope it's going to be a good game tonight, and let's hope Arsenal can get a positive result. We're just about to have the pre-match stuff here. The two captains, Martin Ødegaard and Ulrik Saltnes for Bodo. They seem to know each other, obviously, from Norwegian football previously, and we are going to be up and ready to go very shortly. I say Arsenal in the all black kit, and the home nation in the home club, in yellow. So Arsenal long out there, Matt Turner in goal. It's a back four, I think, although they've got it as a back three on the telly, but I think it's going to be White, Holding, Saliba and Tierney. Then it's going to be Sambi Lokonga, Martin Ødegaard with Fabio Vieira just ahead, and then it's going to be Saka, Nelson and Nketiah in the front three. So that's how Arsenal are lining up in this game today. And I say a win would really put us in a really strong position, wouldn't it, to win this group, which of course makes a big difference for the next knockout stage. I say we get a bye essentially through the next round, so that'll be good. But Bodo will fancy their chances as well. They know if they win tonight, they'll go top of the group. So it's a big opportunity for them, isn't it? They'll go above us with 7 points if they win. So it's a big occasion for them. As they've said, it's probably the biggest night in their history, isn't it? It's going to be Bodo Glimt to kick off, actually, attacking the goal to our left in this first half. Arsenal will say all in black, and we are just about to get off and underway in this big Europa League game. Group A, of course, Arsenal start the night on top of the table. It's going to be Pellegrino. Actually, no, it's not. It's going to be Esborg with the kick-off, and we're off and underway here in Bodo in northern Norway. It is Bodo Glimt versus Arsenal in the Europa League, and straight away there, Arsenal force a mistake there from Loda, the defender for Bodo, and it's gone out for a throw to Arsenal over on the far side, which Kieran Tierney is going to take. Arsenal's left throws at the ball back, and it looks as though Saliba is playing in his normal position. It looks like Rob Holding's taken up that left-sided centre-back role in place of Gabriel. He played on the right, of course, last week. Did score, didn't he, Rob Holding? A great header in the first game last week, so I'm sure he'll be wanting to get more, another goal tonight. Anyway, we're coming forward now over on that far side, but it's gone out for a throw to Arsenal off the Bodo player Solbakken, and Arsenal now are looking to get an early goal. We've got a lot of early goals this season, haven't we? And I think it's going to be crucial tonight on this artificial surface. Arsenal just trying to find their feet at the moment. William Saliba plays it to Ben White on this near side. Arsenal's right coming forward now. Ben White finds Bukayo Saka, goes back into William Saliba, plays it into the centre circle to Fabio Vieira, who seems to be starting as a more deeper out of the two, him and Ødegaard. Ødegaard seems to be a little bit further advanced. But anyway, also coming forward down the far side with Kieran Tierney. He goes past the defender and then he's checks back actually and plays the ball back to Rob Holding over on that far touchline. He plays it inside to William Saliba inside the centre circle. Sambi Lokonga now have his first real involvement in this game, finds Ben White on this near side up to Bukayo Saka on this right-hand side. Bukayo Saka calls 2 goals against Liverpool. He's back in again on this far side. The goalkeeper's come a long way. Saka crosses it in. Is it going to be a goal? Eddie can't get there. And I think the referee's given a free kick. Really good play that was there from Bukayo Saka down the right-hand side. I don't quite know what the goalkeeper was doing there, actually. Hacking. He came out a long way. He never looked like he was going to get there. Saka wasn't offside, so I don't quite know what the free kick's for. Eddie Nketiah, I think it may be a foul there by Eddie Nketiah, is it? But he looked like he was going to have a tap in there, Eddie, but he didn't quite manage to get there in front of the defender. He did put him back, and Bodo get a free kick, which they've now taken quickly. But Arsenal again have picked up the ball. Arsenal looking good in these early stages. Rob Holding just put on a little bit of pressure there, actually, but he does well. Gets the ball out to Ben White, who now finds Ødegaard on this near side into Sambi Lokonga, and then Saka goes all the way back to Wolves. The goalkeeper, Matt Turner, it doesn't reach him, actually. He has to come out of his area there, Matt Turner, and kick the ball out. And Bodo now in possession in midfield, coming forward with Holbretton. He's tackled there inside the centre circle by Martin Ødegaard, but it is Bodo who pick up possession. We played 2.5 minutes here in northern Norway. It is Bodo Glimt 0, Arsenal 0. And of course, the winner tonight is going to be in a great position to win this group, which does make us a big advantage in the next round. The ball now goes back to goalkeeper Hakim, who I don't know quite why he came out there just a moment ago with Bukayo Saka. He was never ever going to get there. And it almost cost Bodo a goal. He did play quite well last week, their goalkeeper, I thought. Anyway, coming forward now, Bodo on his near side. Pellegrino has a little bit of space in behind Ben White. Pulls it across the box. It's a dangerous ball in, actually. Arsenal don't really deal with it particularly well. And it's gone all the way behind. It may well be a corner. Pellegrino there did really well. If it is a corner, it was a good run up this near side by Pellegrino. They've taken a corner quickly inside the box. Comes inside the low cross into the near post, but cleared away, actually, by Martin Ødegaard. But that's the first threat there from Bodo in this game. They took that corner quickly, actually, and almost caught Arsenal out. But it was Martin Ødegaard there, alive and alert at the near post to deal with that low cross in. And Arsenal did clear the ball away. But Bodo in possession again. They seem to have settled down now. Arsenal had a pretty good start in the first 2 or 3 minutes. But now Bodo are coming forward again with the captain Solten coming up this near side again with Pellegrino, the top scorer in at the Norwegian top flight, plays it into the box. This is another chance, is it? Oh, it was a tackle there in the end. It was Soltnes again, got into the box there, the captain, with a headband. I don't know if he just overran the ball a little bit there. It has run through to Matt Turner. But again, Pellegrino on this near side on the left is looking really dangerous, isn't he? Rajan was in the chat. Hey there, mate. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Enjoying the game. And Shane's in as well. He said, hi, Richard. I think this black kit is one of my favourite kits. It is a very nice kit. I agree. It is a very nice kit. I've actually got the pink one, the pink top. But I may well find the black one somewhere and get that one as well because it is rather nice. I agree. But Arsenal now coming forward in that black kit. Bukayo Saka on this near side. He's towing a lot of pace, but the ball in isn't particularly accurate and it's cleared away by the Bodo defence. He was looking for Eddie Nketiah there, who was making a run, but the ball was a bit behind him. And Bodo clear it away. Now William Saliba, his first Europa League appearance for Arsenal tonight. For the big Frenchman, what a start he's had to his Arsenal career and his Premier League career. He's been outstanding, hasn't he? Brilliant stuff from the Frenchman. He plays the ball out to that far side to who's over on that side actually. Anyway, I can't really tell. That's a long ball over the top. That's looking for Kieran Tierney. Oh, it's Reece Nelson, isn't it? Of course it is Reece Nelson. He's got different hair from the last time he played. That's why I couldn't recognise him. It's Reece Nelson, of course. Playing on the left for Arsenal tonight. So a rare start for him. But that one's cleared away. It's a Frodo to Arsenal over on that far side, taken by Kieran Tierney. The stand behind him there with a lot of yellow shirted fans, the Bodo fans. Now Arsenal coming forward down this near side. Bukayo Saka plays it in towards Ben White. Can he get there? He does. Ben White, can he get the cross in? He does towards the far post. Reece Nelson's there, but I think the ball's gone out actually. Eddie Nketiah just flicks it wide at the near post, but it had already gone out. It was actually some good defending in the end from Solbakken, I think it was. But it's a great ball in earlier on. They're just showing that. I know it was Solbakken who almost got the touch in there. It's a great cross there from Pellegrino, actually. And it was just a touch from Martin Ødegaard, maybe from Rob Holding, sorry, just did enough there to take it away from Solbakken, or the Norwegians would have had a lead in this game and the crowd would have gone mental, wouldn't they, if they can score. But anyway, we played nearly 7 minutes. It is still Bodo 0, Arsenal 0. And again, Bodo are looking a very good side. We said that last week. They were a little bit fortunate, I felt, to have lost that game 3-0. And they're coming forward again now with Loader. Plays it out to that far side. And it is Bodo on the attack here in Northern Norway on this artificial pitch. But every time Arsenal come forward, we've looked dangerous. But they look a good side, don't they? Wembangambo there played the ball across, and it's still in possession here for Bodo. That's a good ball again up this near side, looking for Pellegrino. Plays the ball inside the penalty. A nice turn by who was that with the turn? It was Sultan as the captain, but Arsenal don't really get it clear particularly well, and it's still Bodo in possession. They're coming forward again now. It is with Loader, the defender. This is good pressure, actually, from Bodo. They did this well last week, didn't they? Particularly, I thought, in the second half, where they had a lot of possession and caused us a few issues, actually. They've certainly started this game well. They've settled down now, looking actually really, really dangerous. They're coming forward now over on that far side. Ball chipped into the box. A good header away, actually, by Rob Holding. And that could start an Arsenal counter-attack with Reece Nelson. He's gone past one defender. Oh, but great work back there from Solbakken there for the Norwegians. And it's going to be a Frodo to Arsenal just inside the Bodo half. Tom's in the chat. How you doing, Tom? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying the game so far. It's been a little bit of I'm not going to say a shaky start from Arsenal, but Bodo have started well, haven't they? They're looking at, they look a good side, a very good side. Tom says they need to go flat out against us. First goal is key. Yeah, first goal is generally key in most games, isn't it? But yeah, you'd imagine that, on this surface with this crowd, if Bodo get a goal and get in front, then you'd imagine that it's going to be even more difficult for Arsenal, isn't it? So yeah, they do need a fast start, Bodo, and they've had one. But Bukayo Saka has just won a free kick there. Wembangambo it was there with the foul. And Arsenal have taken that free kick quickly now, coming forward over on that far side. It's Reece Nelson looking to make an impact on a very rare start for him. His first start in a very, very long time. The ball is currently now with William Saliba in to Sambi Lokonga. That's a nice turn inside the centre circle from the young Belgium. He plays the ball square to Ben White. Ben White just gives the ball back to Lokonga, and he goes square again to Kieran Tierney, who's inside the centre circle. Got Rob Holding outside him. Plays the ball up that far side to Reece Nelson again. Nelson's got 2 defenders in front of him, so he goes backwards and plays it back to Rob Holding now. William Saliba plays a ball effortlessly to this near side to Bukayo Saka. That's a great ball and a great touch by Saka as well. Can he get past the defender? He cuts in, plays the ball to the edge of the penalty. A nice ball into the box. Martin Odegaard. Can he get a cross in? He's inside the penalty. Plays it back out to Lokonga. Tries a shot. Was that deflected or did it just go wide? It just went wide there from Sambi Lokonga. But that was a really good Arsenal attack. Martin Odegaard at the heart of it there. Played it back to Lokonga. And he swung wildly at that shot, actually. He set himself quite well and then he leant back and just completely missed that. Tom says, I want to see something from Lokonga tonight. Well, you just saw a shot from him. It wasn't a great shot, was it? But anyway, he's done okay in the early stages. It's still early in this game. 10 minutes, of course, played. Fred's in the chat. He says, come on, Sambi. He needs to find a position. I have no idea where he should play. Yeah, I suppose it's one of 2 positions, really, isn't it? It's either the box-to-box midfield player or it's that more holding midfield player. They're one of the 2 roles he needs to find a place for. You know, is he the replacement for Thomas Partey? Is he the replacement for Granit Xhaka? Anyway, the Norwegians having to make an early substitute. It is actually the captain, Ulrich Saltnes, who's having to go off. There was a doubt that he was even going to start this game. He went off in their game at the weekend. He came on and had to go off again because of an injury that he had before. And he has had to go off already after just 10 minutes. So it was a gamble by the manager there, which hasn't really paid off for them tonight. But it gives an opportunity for the number 8, who is Albert Grønbæk, the Danish player. I'm sure he played last week's game, didn't he, actually? I don't know whether he came on as a sub or whether he started. He definitely played a part in that game last week. So he's, you know, I'm sure he can come on and do a good job. But losing their captain is a big blow, isn't it, for Bodo? And he had looked quite dangerous. They got forward a couple of times from midfield. And, yeah, unfortunately, the injury hasn't healed sufficiently. And unfortunately for him and for Bodo, he's had to go off, and Arsenal hopefully now can maybe take advantage of that. Rob Holding plays the ball square to William Saliba. Shane says, I think this will be Nelson and Holding's last season with us. Nothing against them, but where we want to be, we need upgrades. I 100% agree with that. I think Reece Nelson's been at the club, well, they both have been at the club a very long time. And, I mean, Rob Holding's played quite a lot of games. But I agree, if we want to progress and move forward as a club and as a squad and as a group of players, I agree, we do need upgrades. Reece Nelson has not quite made it for me. He's been at the club a long time and never really managed to hold down any sort of regular place, even in the squad. He's been out on loan, and yeah, I don't think either of those 2 will be here next season. I think you're right. I think when we're back in the Champions League, which hopefully we will be, that's when players like this, you don't keep them there, and they get moved on, and you buy upgrades. And I think that's definitely what we need. I think we need another left-footed centre-back, actually. Gabriel is having a bit of a shaky time of it. And, you know, when we leave him out tonight, we don't have a natural left-footed centre-back, do we? And I think that's a problem, really. But anyway, you get better balance, don't you, with a left-footed centre-back and a right-footed centre-back. Anyway, Eddie Nketiah is now just there on this near side, finds Bukayo Saka. Arsenal coming forward again. That's a square ball in to Sambi Lokonga. Lets it run across his body to give him a little bit of space, and then he can find Kieran Tierney on that far side. Now it is with Reece Nelson. Goes past the fullback, but rather than putting a cross in, he comes back. He does get a cross in now. It's headed away, not very far. Martin Odegaard picks up on the edge of the box. Can he get a shot in, Martin Odegaard? He's held up a little bit, but he does find Bukayo Saka. Back now to Ben White. Back into Saka again. But that was a good defensive play there from Wambango. And now Bodo are coming forward on a counter-attack. But that ball should run through to Matt Turner. It was Veltson there with the ball forward. Now Arsenal back in possession with Ben White on this near side. Let's see if Arsenal can get this early goal. Saka now coming forward. He tried to find Reece Nelson over on that far side, but it wasn't a great ball, actually. And it was easily cut out by Samsted, I think it was, and it's now gone out on this near side for a throw to Arsenal. Fred said there, that's a Wenger risk playing someone who last 10 minutes. Yeah, no, you're right. We used to do that before, didn't we? Wenger could have bet red and black on roulette and it would have landed at 0. Yeah, sometimes these gambles don't pay off, do they? You know, when a player it maybe isn't quite 100% fit, but they're an important player. You want to take that risk, don't you, and hope that it pays off and that they can contribute. Unfortunately for Bodo, it hasn't worked for them tonight, and their captain Ulrich Saltnes has had to depart after just 10 minutes, which would be a big blow to them. But hopefully Arsenal can take advantage of that. It's a goal kick which has been taken quickly. Actually, Bukayo Saka closing down at the goalkeeper, hacking, but he goes long into the centre circle, and Arsenal are going to pick up the loose ball again. It's been a strange start to this game. In possession of the ball, Arsenal have actually looked quite good at times without really threatening too much. But Bodo have been very direct when they've had the ball themselves. They're looking to get this ball up this near side to Pellegrino. I say that he's their top scorer. And he has looked a decent player. He looked pretty good last week at times, didn't he? And it's been a fascinating opening sort of 15 minutes without an awful lot of goal mouth action. Bodo had a chance, didn't they, early on that cross from Pellegrino, which just got a touch from Martin Ødegaard to take it away from Solbakken on the far post. And Arsenal haven't really had a big opportunity yet. There was that cross from Saka, but the referee had already blown for a free kick. So even if Eddie Nketiah had scored, it wouldn't have counted. Now, it's a good ball actually from Sambi Lokonga, almost a good ball, looking to get Eddie Nketiah away, but it was just overhit slightly. It's run through to the goalkeeper. Don't forget, on an artificial pitch, that tends to happen, doesn't it? The ball can run a little bit quicker than maybe you're used to on grass. I'm sure Arsenal have practiced on a similar surface, and obviously they would have trained here probably yesterday as well. But even so, it is still difficult, isn't it? Martin Ødegaard's gone down injured, actually, holding his ankle, his left ankle. This is not a good sign. Didn't see what happened there, actually, but Ødegaard is currently down. Mikel Arteta is looking a little bit worried on the side there. We'll see what happens here. Kieran Tierney, he did come through on him there. He was stretching a little bit for the ball there, Samsted, from that earlier play. In fact, Kieran Tierney didn't really help by pushing him a little bit, and then that was a painful one, actually. I think they both maybe got injured, but luckily Martin Ødegaard is back on his feet again, and let's hope he is okay. Wouldn't be great news, would it, if he was ruled out of the game on Sunday at Leeds. And let's hope that the Arsenal's captain doesn't have to go off early in this game, as indeed the Bodo captain did. So let's hope that's not the case. But anyway, Bodo are coming forward now down this near side. Ben White maybe overcommits himself there, and Bodo can keep possession over on that far side. This is a good ball, actually. Couldn't even see that player there. The advertising holding there was orange, and he's got a yellow shirt on, and you could hardly see him. The fullback, Samsted. Anyway, Bodo are coming forward now. Pellegrino down this near side, but that just runs away from him there. And it's gone out for a throw to Arsenal. Martin Ødegaard seems okay now. He was just involved in that bit of play. Ben White plays it back to William Saliba, and he goes back to Matt Turner with the ball at his feet. Plays it up the far side, looking for Kieran Tierney. That's not a bad little ball, actually, from Matt Turner. He has been working on his distribution, he said. So let's see what improvements that he's made there. Saliba now finds Ben White on his near side. We've played 18 minutes here in Norway. It's still Bodo 0, Arsenal 0, but it's been a lively start to the game. You know, Bodo have looked a good side in possession. We've looked one or two decent moves as well, but so far 0-0. Neither goalkeeper's been extended yet to any degree. And Arsenal are coming forward over on that far side. Reece Nelson and Rob Holding have linked up a couple of times over there to pretty good effect. Sambi Lokonga now in midfield does well. Threads the ball through towards Eddie Nketiah, holds it up well, Eddie. But in the end, he was closed down by two Bodo defenders, and the Norwegians are back in possession again. Martin Ødegaard, though, closing down high up the pitch. It's back with the goalkeeper, and he does well, actually, there, the Bodo goalkeeper. And Bodo playing it out from the back. This is their style of play. They're used to doing this. They like doing this. It's how they play. And they've done well, actually. They're coming forward now up this near side with Wembanyama, who's looked pretty good, actually, the left back. Shane says here, Rich, who do you want to win between City and Liverpool? Or do you think realistically it won't matter in relation to us that City will win, benefit us? It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because at this moment in time, we're top of the league, and the more points City drop, you'd say the better. And there's not many games this season that you look at and you realistically expect Man City to drop a lot of points in. Obviously Liverpool away is a tough game for anybody at Anfield, and it has been for Man City over the years. So part of me thinks, yeah, let Liverpool beat them, and then if we've already beaten Leeds, it puts us in a strong position, doesn't it? But then when you look at the overall picture, you're right. Manchester City probably will win the league anyway, and we are realistically in a battle for the top four. Realistically, aren't we? Let's be honest. And obviously, Liverpool are going to be one of those teams that we will ultimately be competing with for that space, one of those spaces in the top four. So maybe we need to get a more point lead on them. We've already got a 14-point lead, which is great. And maybe getting another 3 points on them this weekend could be good. It's a tough one, isn't it? It is a tough one. Maybe a draw, and then that way they both drop points, and that's good for us. But ultimately, what we need to do is win our game at Leeds. That's the most important thing. But we're not worrying too much about what other teams do. We just need to win as many games as we can, and if we can beat Leeds, then Man City and Liverpool will have to worry about that then, won't they? Because we'd have an even bigger lead over both of them. So, but yeah, maybe a draw would probably be my favoured result, I guess. Then they both got points, don't they? But let's just win our game first, and then we can worry about Liverpool and Man City afterwards. Bodo are in possession. Their fans over on that far side are jumping about in unison. Looks very, very cool. And I suppose it's just a way of keeping them warm more than anything, isn't it? But it does look good. Do create a good atmosphere, the Bodo fans. I have to say, I've been very impressed with them as a club. Very impressed with their team, their fans. It's been a pleasure to face this team in these last two games. And I hope that it's them that qualify out of the group, hopefully in second place behind us. That would be nice, wouldn't it? They certainly play some good football. They're coming forward again now. This is nice play actually in midfield, and it's a ball played through. It's just going to run through. Matt Turner comes out of his area quickly again and clears the ball away, looking for Bukayo Saka, but actually it was at the head there of Wembagomo, but it has fallen to Ben White, and he goes back to Matt Turner. Matt Turner had to be alert there, run out of his penalty area there, but it was good play from Bodo. They are looking a very good side again tonight. And they're coming forward again now in midfield. It's a bit of a strange ball actually, but anyway, Valtson has managed to pick it up and play it out to that far side. This is going to be a good attack. It's Solbakken over on that far side in possession for Bodo. He's gone past a couple of challenges. Can he get across? And he does at the near post. Rob Holding's there, but he's going to be a throw to the Norwegians. Good play there from Solbakken. He looks a good player as well. They've got some decent players, this team, I have to say. Anyway, it's going to be a throw there by Alphonse Samsted, the Icelandic player. And Bodo in possession again with Holmstrom. Plays it out to that far side. They had more possession than us last week, didn't they, Bodo? We mentioned that on the show as well. And won't be far off them having more possession in his first half either today, by the look of things. Anyway, they're coming forward again now. Trying to look to get this breakthrough. This is good play again by Wembagoma, but he maybe did a little bit too much there. And in the end, Ben White can play it back to Matt Turner, but Matt Turner's putting a bit of pressure there. Pellegrino now is trying to put William Saliba under pressure, but William Saliba isn't bothered about that, is he? Comes away with that, and now Bukayo Saka up this near side. Can Arsenal get a goal on at the counter attack? That's a good ball inside to Eddie Nketiah now. Ben White. He's got Saka in front of him again. Saka plays it back to Martin Odegaard. Arsenal moving the ball a lot quicker now. That's a ball square to Kieran Tierney. He's got Reece Nelson outside him. He finds Nelson as well. This is nice play from Arsenal. Nelson's gone past his player there. And can he get a cross in? Samsted was a defender there. He went past, but he wasn't able to get a cross in there. And Arsenal still in possession now with Bukayo Saka on this near side. Cuts in, finds Sambi Lokonga. Nice ball back. Saka in the box. Is it going to be 1-0? It is 1-0. Bukayo Saka with the goal. Lovely 1-2 with Sambi Lokonga. It was deflected to finish. It doesn't matter. It's gone into the corner and Arsenal lead. And so it is. It was Saka there from the right-hand side. Samuel Lokonga played it back to him. Or, in fact, it was a tackle that came in and the ball ricocheted back off Saka's face, actually. Caught out the goalkeeper and went in. It was a slightly fortunate goal, you have to say. But it doesn't matter. We'll take it. It come off the defender, came back off Saka and has ended up in the net. in rather fortuitous fashion, but it doesn't matter. We'll take that, won't we? It is 1-0 to the Arsenal, and we are looking ready to get the 3 points now, and hopefully, almost seal that top spot in the group. But it was a good move from Arsenal. The finish was a bit fortunate, but it was a nice goal, and that's 3 goals now in the last 2 games for Saka, 4 for the season for him. He had a little bit of a slow start, didn't he? He wasn't really scoring goals and looking a little bit, a little bit off his best, but he's growing into the season now, and I say he's got better and better, and he has now got another goal for himself. So a little bit fortunate, but it was a great move. A lovely ball back to him, actually, from Sambi Lokonga. That was nice from him, and Saka was able to finish it off. Rob Holding just conceded a throw over on that far side, which Bodo take quickly. They're in a hurry to get things done. Now they're coming forward again. Can they get an instant equaliser? Oh, the ball's bobbling around the Arsenal penalty area, but Kieran Tierney completes the clearance. And suddenly now we've got an opportunity on a counter-attack. Eddie Nketiah's got him behind. There's no Arsenal player making in the box. Reece Nelson's trying to get there now. Eddie Nketiah goes around the long way, and he's been held up. And though Arsenal have got players forward, maybe not quite enough. The ball's come back to Fabio Vieira, who's been a bit quiet, actually, so far in this game. And now Martin Odegaard only did a box, and Saka again. Is he going to get another goal? Oh, that's a wild finish with his right foot. Bukayo Saka there in a good position again, but he couldn't quite get his right foot around that shot, and it's gone into the crowd behind the goal. But again, it's a good Arsenal move, actually, a really good Arsenal move. Shane says there, Saka is a hard one to figure this season, not playing great, but still producing the goods, thankfully. Now, I think he's got better in the last few games. I thought he had a little bit of a slow start to the season. He wasn't at his best, was he, in the first few games? But I think he's growing into, as the season's going on, he's getting better and better. And I think now he's getting back towards his best again. Is he at his best? Probably not quite yet, but he's getting there. And as you say, he's producing the goods, goals and assists. What more do you want? I mean, 4 goals already for him. Is a decent total already, isn't it, at this point in the season? I was going forward again with Fabio Vieira on that far side. He was looking for Reece Nelson there, but the defender covered that run. Now Kieran Tierney finds Sambi Lokonga, pings it to this near side to Saka again inside the area. Saka drills it across the box. Good defending there from Holbratton. And it is going to be a corner though to Arsenal. Rajendra says a deserved goal. Yeah, I think it was a deserved goal. I think we've been slightly the better team. We've certainly looked dangerous in possession, but they've been playing well again, Bodo, actually. Anyway, it's a corner now. William Saliba's come up for this. He's got 2 goals already this season. He'll be looking for another one here. Sambi Lokonga's in there as well. But it's going to be Bukayo Saka with this corner from the near side for Arsenal. He's going to bend this in with his left foot and in swinger probably towards the edge of the 6-yard box. That's exactly where it goes. It's flicked on by a Bodo head, actually, and they managed to get the ball away. Kieran Tierney now plays it back into the box, but it's cleared away again by a Bodo defender up towards halfway. Kieran Tierney gets the ball again. He's got a couple of options. Instead, he just goes long up this near side looking for Bukayo Saka, but it's not a great ball. And Bodo should clear that up. In fact, it's an offside against Saka anyway. So that's the end of that attack. And we've got Kevin in the chat. How you doing, Kevin? Hope you're well, my friend. Good to see you again. Hope you're well and enjoying the game. It's been a good start from Arsenal. We've got the early goal, a little bit fortunate, as we said, but anyway, we'll take it. It doesn't matter. And you do get the impression at the moment with this Arsenal team that things are going our way quite a lot, aren't they? Which is good to see. Eddie Nketiah only did a box with a shot. Oh, dear me, you didn't get that one right at all, did he? Suddenly the ball set up from there inside the penalty area. And it looked as though he was going to get a shot away, but he did, but it was a really poor effort. He didn't get hold of it at all. It's gone harmlessly wide, scuffed it completely there, Eddie Nketiah. But it's a goal kick to Bodo. We've played at 28.5 minutes in Norway. Oh, and now there's an opportunity here for Pellegrino to get the equaliser. He chips it over Matt Turner, but it's gone wide. Oh, that was their best chance. A one-on-one there with the keeper. They're not going to get too many opportunities like that, are they? It was Pellegrino in behind. In fact, was he offside? No, he wasn't. Kieran Tierney had played him on, and then he tried to chip it over Matt Turner. He managed to get it over the goalkeeper, but it wasn't on target at all, and it's gone past that far post. But that was the biggest chance of the night so far for Bodo, but he didn't get that right at all, did he? Pellegrino. He's got a lot of goals this season, 29, I think it is. He's got himself, so he would have probably backed himself there to score in that situation, wouldn't he? A one-on-one with a goalkeeper, but he wasn't able to find the net on that particular occasion. That was a big chance, though, wasn't it, for the Norwegians there? Pellegrino is now having a chat to the referee. Probably not. He's probably more frustrated with himself, actually, I would say, for that miss. It was a foul, though, in midfield there, and it is going to be. It was a substitute, actually. Grombeck there was fouled by Bukayo Saka, the goal scorer. And in fact, Saka's got himself a yellow card. Unusual for him. He doesn't get too many yellow cards, does he, Bukayo Saka? But he's got one tonight already in this game. He's got himself a goal and a yellow card, and we've only played half an hour. So it's been an interesting night so far for Bukayo Saka. But it is going to be a free kick to the Norwegians. They just had a big chance to equalise there. That was a warning for Arsenal. There's the ball over the top, flicked on, and he had a clean run through the middle there in between the two centre halves. So yeah, not great defending from Arsenal, but luckily Pellegrino wasn't able to find the target, and the ball has managed to go wide of that post. But Bodo in possession again. They'll certainly feel they're still in this game. They'll feel that they can maybe get something out of it, but Arsenal do have that lead, and we're coming forward again now. Reiss Nelson finds Kieran Tierney over on that far side, plays up the line to Reiss Nelson again. But it was good defending actually there from Loader, the Norwegian defender, and just managed to pinch the ball off Reiss Nelson there. And another Arsenal attack comes to nothing. William Saliba there, very, very calm, isn't he? What a fantastic defender he is. Brilliant there from him. Sambi Lokonga plays it out to that far side to Nelson again, plays it in to, it was with Eddie Nketiah there. Now Eddie Nketiah with the ball, plays it to Ben White. Quite a central position now. He plays it to this near side to Bukayo Saka, the Arsenal goal scorer. Ben White gets it back again and then dinks the ball over to that far side. Looking for Reiss Nelson again, but it wasn't a great ball. It was headed clear. Now Solbakken is trying to come forward for Arsenal, but Fabio Vieira wins it back. Solbakken again is going to get there. Is he? Not quite. Rob Holding got there first, and it is a handball against the Norwegian, who's now wearing the armband, Solbakken, since the captain, Sultan, had to go off. But it is a free kick to Arsenal over on that far side. Fabio Vieira takes it back, kicks it back to William Saliba inside at the centre circle for Arsenal. 32 minutes on the clock here in Bodo. It is Bodo Glimt 0, Arsenal 1. Martin Ødegaard coming forward now. Bukayo Saka, of course, it was him with the Arsenal goal. Plays it back to Ødegaard on the edge of the penalty area. Can Arsenal get a shot away here? Ødegaard plays over to that far side, looking for Kieran Tierney. It's a good defensive header away there by Samsted. And it is going to be a corner to Arsenal. Opportunity for maybe the second goal. You do feel as though a second goal could kill this off, as it did last week. And Arsenal got an opportunity here. It's going to be a corner over on that far side, which Reiss Nelson's going to take. Was, of course, Rob Holding got that second goal last week, didn't he? Is he going to do so again? We will have to wait and see. In fact, the corner goes short into the near post. Martin Ødegaard plays across towards the far post. It was Rob Holding in there. Couldn't quite get there. Saka on the edge of the box. Now he finds Eddie Nketiah with the defender in front of him. He's inside the penalty area. Eddie Nketiah cuts inside, trying to get an opportunity for a shot. Instead, he goes back to Saliba, who clips it into the box, but it's run too far. It's going to go into the goalkeeper, Haken, who plays it up that far side. And suddenly Bodo looking for a counter-attack. This is good play again over on that far side. It is Solbakken again in possession, right on that far touchline for the Norwegians. Plays it back to the fullback Samsted. And they're coming forward now in numbers. Bodo looking for this equaliser. It's now played up this near side to Wembagoma. Plays it back again to Holbratton. And they come still in possession here, Bodo. They're having a good spell. That's a nice ball actually played out to that far side. Can Solbakken keep it in? He does. Good play from him. Got support there. Cross comes in towards the near post, but Matt Turner's there. Comfortable in the end for the goalkeeper. But that was good play from Bodo again. Showing a lot of enterprise coming forward, aren't they? It was Samsted's cross there. Too close to the goalkeeper in the end. It did bounce in front of Matt Turner, but he read it well. And it was a comfortable save. The forwards there a little bit frustrated that the cross wasn't maybe a bit better there, to give them a chance to try and get on the end of it. Kevin says their main thing is that we come away with no injuries because these pitches are terrible for injuries if you don't play on them regular. No, you're absolutely right. They are very difficult pitches. We said that on the show the other night. I was a bit worried when I saw the team sheet, a few too many first teamers really for my liking. But anyway, yeah, hopefully everyone comes out of it unscathed and we can, you know, get the win. Everybody's injury free and we can move forward to obviously Sunday. Shane says it feels like this is really our first glimpse of Turner. Well, yeah, he's only played the 3 Europa League games, hasn't he? And he's been a little bit hit and miss. I thought the first game in Zurich he was a bit shaky. I thought he was better last week. And so far tonight he's done okay, hasn't he? He's had to come out quickly, clear a couple of things away, and his handling's been pretty good as well. So yeah, looking okay for Turner, isn't it, so far? They're also coming forward on that far side. Fabio Vieira finds Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson goes around the outside. Can he get a cross in? Samsted's hold him up again. Now he finds Kieran Tierney. Goes back again to Reece Nelson. This is a good play from Arsenal. Reece Nelson does whip a cross in this time. Just over hit though. Martin Odegaard was making a run in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Terry says, evening Richard, all in the chat. Who scored for us? It was Bukayo Saka. It was a slightly fortunate goal, I have to be said. He ran into the box. He played a nice 1-2 actually with Sambi Lokonga. And then he was tackled by the Norwegian defender and the ball ricocheted off Saka, wrong-footed the keeper at the near post and went in. So it's a little bit of a fortunate goal. It was a good move. It was just an unfortunate finish. But yeah, Bukayo Saka it was with his 4th goal of the season. And yeah, Arsenal have been, you know, we've played okay so far, look pretty good, but Bodo are playing well as well. And they're coming forward again now up this near side. They did have a real big chance to equalise with Pellegrino, ran through 1-on-1, but couldn't get the finish. And yeah, that was the nearest that Bodo have come to a goal themselves, and they maybe feel they should have scored. It was a good opportunity there, but anyway, they are in possession again inside at the centre circle with Loader. Plays it out to that far side to Samsted. Now plays it square again to Holbratton, and now this is good play again from Wembangoba. And this is good possession again from Bodo. They do look pretty neat and tidy with the ball. Patrick Berg now coming forward, plays out to that far side to Solbakken. Can he get a cross in? He tried to there, but it was well defended by Reece Nelson, but still in possession on the edge of the penalty area. Oh, it's a nice little 1-2 there, but in the end, Arsenal managed to read that and can now come forward. And in fact, there's going to be a foul there on Eddie Nketiah. But that was nice play again from Bodo, just on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Tried to play a little 1-2, but it was well read. I think it was Rob Holding who defended well there, and Arsenal now get a free kick. But it has been a pretty lively start to this game from both sides. There's, you know, Bodo plays good football. It's been a good game to watch. Sambi Lokonga now in possession, fires Martin Odegaard, gets it back again. Sambi Lokonga plays it into Odegaard again. Those two just keep exchanging passes, and Arsenal now can bring the ball forward. This is nice. Odegaard, he's got Saka on this near side. Arsenal's goal scorer. Ben White's gone outside him. Instead, he comes back inside to Odegaard. Tried to thread the ball across to Fabio Vieira, but it wasn't a great ball. And Patrick Berg can now pick it up for Bodo, who now try and come forward again up that far side with Solbakken. That's a nice touch in field. And now Bodo can come forward with the substitute. Grombeck plays the ball in here into the midfield to Berger, but it's good play there from Bukayo Saka. He's got clear now. Bukayo Saka, can we get a second goal before half-time, which would really, you'd imagine, seal the point. Saka then held on to the ball a little bit too long, maybe, was dispossessed, and now Bodo coming forward again on this near side with Pellegrino. Had that big chance, didn't he? Couldn't take it, and, you know, will Bodo get a better opportunity than that to get level in this game? You'd have to say probably not. Anyway, they're coming forward again now with the substitute Grombeck. He's done well, actually, gets past Sambi Lokonga. Grombeck's done well, but Sambi Lokonga's won the ball back there. The referee wasn't going to give a free kick, but Sambi Lokonga's giving it away right on the edge of the box. It's just going to be a chance now. Arsenal actually defend this well, but Bodo still in possession. The ball dinked over the top, an opportunity. Good save from Matt Turner. Came out quickly there. Again, that's really good play, though, from Bodo in tight areas on the edge of the penalty area. Sambi Lokonga was caught in possession there, actually. He tried to do too much. It was Esparge who won the ball off him here. Almost got on the end of that as well. In fact, a little flick there past the goalkeeper, he'd have probably scored, but Matt Turner just managed to get there first. And Bodo again have been denied an equaliser. They're looking a very good side. Reiss Nelson now in possession for Arsenal now. Fabio Vieira pings the ball from left to right to Bukayo Saka. A lovely touch from the goal scorer Saka, running at the defender Wembanyama again. Does well. Saka puts a cross in. It's come off the back of Pellegrino. It is going to be a corner to Arsenal on this near side again. We're into the last 5 minutes of normal time at the end of this first half. It's been an exciting first half. Both teams looking dangerous when they come forward. And it was almost an equaliser there from Bodo, but now Arsenal got an opportunity to double the lead from this corner. Bukayo Saka is going to be taking it. Rob Holding's in there again. Can he score against this opposition 2 weeks in a row? Let's see if he can. But it's going to be Saka with this corner. Again, he plays it in towards the near post. Again, it's a header from Bodo, but it's not. It's gone more backwards than out, and it is actually going to be another corner. It was Loader there with the header, but it is going to be another corner to Arsenal on this near side. Can Arsenal get this second goal? Saka plays the corner short. It wasn't actually a great corner, looking for Reiss Nelson, and now Bodo have got an opportunity for a counter-attack. They're certainly not shy in getting players forward. It's a ball there, switched across. Good header though from Rob Holding. Cut that out. And now Bodo have picked up possession again. 4 minutes to play until half-time. I don't think there's going to be much stoppage time, is there? Because there hasn't been many stoppages. It's been a fast-paced game. There's just one or two little. There was an injury to obviously Martin Odegaard briefly, although I don't think a trainer came on for that, did they? And then, of course, earlier than the Bodo captain had to go off, but he didn't receive treatment on the pitch. Obviously, his pre-existing injury just obviously flared up again, and he had to depart. But Bodo in possession, still on his near side, and they've played well in this first half. And they've had a couple of big opportunities to equalise as well. They haven't quite managed to take, but that's a poor ball. Oh, Saka was almost in, but actually that's a long ball over the top. Is that going to cause Arsenal problems again? Matt Turner's out of his area again. 3 or 4 times he's done that well. Playing as the sweeper keeper, Matt Turner, and he's cleared the ball away well there, and he's just got it back off Ben White. Goes long this time, but it's a Bodo defender there that picks it up. Bodo are going to maybe finish this half on top, are they? They're certainly looking pretty good at this moment in time. The boys now back with Holbratton there coming forward for the Norwegians. Finds Wembanyama going on this near side. This is a good play again. Pellegrino now. The fullback has gone on a run. Can he keep this in? If he can, he'll have an opportunity to maybe cross it in. He does do well in front of those Arsenal fans. It's crossed in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. A good defensive header from Rob Holding again. Only to Pellegrino on the edge of the box. They like to play them little passes, don't they? Just on the edge of the box, Bodo do. Hasn't always come off for them, but they're certainly brave, aren't they, in the way that they play? And they're in possession again here, are they? No, they're not. That ball went out. It is going to be a throw to Arsenal on the near side. Well, that was good link-up play on this near side with Pellegrino and Wembanyama. And it was the fullback there, Wembanyama, who put the ball into the box. It was a good defensive header, though, by Rob Holding. Kevin says there, Nelson not handling the bounce really well. It's a difficult surface, isn't it? I mean, it is tricky because it's, you know, when you're used to playing on grass most of the time, it's difficult, isn't it, when you're on an artificial pitch. And yeah, he hasn't maybe always judged it well. He's in possession over on that far side. He does better this time. Goes past the defender. He's got Eddie Nketiah for support. Can he find him? In fact, he goes past the defender again. And he's fouled his ever on that far side. Referee says no, he's given a goal kick. Tells Reiss Nelson to get up. And again, Reiss Nelson done well, but it lacked any final product, didn't it? Terry says they're just ready. If we win tonight, it will be the first time since 1996 that Bodo have lost back-to-back games in a single season in European competition. Oh, is that right, is it? I know they've got a great record at home in Europe, haven't they? They haven't. I don't think they've lost at home in Europe for quite a while. And of course, last season they did beat Roma 6-1 on this ground, and they also beat Celtic as well, didn't they? In the Conference League, that actually knocked them out. I think they won 3-1 here and 2-0 at Celtic Park. So, you know, they are a good side, and this would be a decent victory if we can get it. But it is only 1-0, and certainly Bodo, of course, does some issues anyway. Saka now coming forward, finds Ben White outside, and can Ben White dig out a cross? He can't. He's gone behind. It's going to be a goal kick. In fact, I don't really blame Ben White for that. It wasn't a great ball to him from Bukayo Saka, unfortunately, and it has gone behind for a goal kick. to Bodo. We are in the final minute now of the first half. It's been a difficult first half. We kind of expected it was going to be due to the fact that, it's an artificial pitch. Bodo are a good side and it was never going to be easy. But anyway, Arsenal have managed to get the lead, and hopefully we can hold on for these final few seconds of this first half and go in at least in front. But Bodo have posed a threat, and this game certainly isn't won yet. There's no doubt about that. You do feel as though we do need a second goal at some point, and we have now got a free kick. That was a foul on Saka there by Wembangomo, who's had a decent first half, actually, the left-back wearing number 5 for Bodo. I say they're certainly not out of this game, are they? But he's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. We are now coming down to the 45-minute mark. See how much stoppage time there'll be. I'm guessing maybe only a minute, if that. In fact, it is a minute. It's just been announced. We've taken that free kick quickly. Ben White to Sambi Lokonga. It goes square to William Saliba. He plays a nice 1-2 with Fabio Vieira. Then Rob Holding finds Kieran Tierney over on that far side. Can Arsenal get a second goal before half-time? But time is running out if we're going to do that. Saka now on his near side. The main thing is that we go in with at least a lead and we don't concede a goal now. We keep keeping the ball. It'll be nice. Bukayo Saka again on his near side. He's had a good first half, hasn't he? Saka cuts inside. Is he going to try a shot? He's a long way out. Instead, he goes square to Kieran Tierney. Gets the ball out to that far side to Reece Nelson. I've seen quite a bit of the ball. Maybe not quite done enough with it so far. He done quite well there, though. Finds Fabio Vieira. Plays it square to Sambi Lokonga. Arsenal looks like we're just going to see out this half now in possession of the ball. We have now almost played the minute of stoppage time. Bukayo Saka again on his near side. Cuts inside. Can he get a cross in? He does. It's headed away by the defender, Holbratton there. And we have now played the minute. And in fact, there goes the half-time whistle here in Bodo. It is half-time. Bodo Glimt 0. Arsenal 1. It was Bukayo Saka with that goal midway through the first half. A slightly fortunate finish, it has to be said. It was the ball fell. It was a nice 1-2 on the edge of the box between Saka and Sambi Lokonga. And as Saka was actually tackled by the Bodo defender, the ball bounced off Saka's face almost, well, his chest area, and kind of wrong-footed the goalkeeper and went in at the near post. So a slightly fortunate finish. But, and they've had a couple of chances, Bodo, to equalise, haven't they? A big one from Pellegrino, ran through one-on-one with Matt Turner, but couldn't get his finish right. And then just before half-time, it was a nice little move on the edge of the box. Sambi Lokonga got caught in possession. A ball played over the top, and it was Esparge couldn't quite get on the end of it, and the ball managed to run through to Matt Turner. So it's been a pretty even game. There's been, I say, chances at both ends, but it is Arsenal that lead 1-0 at half-time. And at this stage, it looks as though we are going to be in pole position to win this group at the halfway stage. Obviously, would have played half of the group game tonight, wouldn't we? Kevin in the chat there says White might be needed for World Cup with the injuries piling up. I would take him, defo. I mean, I think the good thing about Ben White is he's shown his versatility, hasn't he? He can play, obviously, as a centre-back, which is his main position. He's been playing at right-back all season for Arsenal, and he's doing a good job. He can also play, of course, as a defensive midfield player, which he did, of course, for Leeds, didn't he, before he signed for us. So he's got that versatility, hasn't he? So, yeah, I would take him to the World Cup for that reason, because he can fill in 3 or 4 different positions. Is he going to get to start many games in the World Cup? Probably not, as things stand. Not if Gareth Southgate's still the manager. But anyway, I would take him, but he doesn't seem to be really in Gareth Southgate's plans, does he? But as you say, maybe injuries might change that. Terry says that I hope no Arsenal player goes to the World Cup, to be honest. Well, yeah, I can understand why that would be an advantage, because it's not just the England players, is it? I mean, there's going to be a lot of Arsenal's players going to the World Cup with other countries, isn't there? And that's, Thomas Partey, for example, Granit Xhaka, obviously the Brazilian boys and this kind of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of Arsenal players at the World Cup, let's be honest. And it is a worry, of course it is. But then, look at every single Premier League club. They've all going to have a lot of players at the World Cup, aren't they? So it's not just us. And it could be, there could be a few injuries after the World Cup because of, the travel, the overload of games and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, this season is going to be an unusual season, isn't it? And that's the one thing that maybe keeps nagging away in my brain, is that because it is an unusual season, unusual things can happen. The season Leicester won the league, that was a bit of an unusual season, and look what happened. This is going to be an unusual season because of the World Cup. And who knows? I still, 99% of me doesn't believe we can win the Premier League title because of Man City being as good as they are, and you just can't see them dropping enough points. But having said that, who knows? Why not? The way things are going at the moment. Shane says there, are White and Saka best available option for England at the World Cup from the players who are available? I mean, it depends if you're looking at White as a centre-back or a right-back. Obviously, there's a lot of right-backs for England at the moment, isn't there? Kieran Trippier is playing well for Newcastle. Obviously, Kyle Walker's flavour of the month, isn't he? He gets picked a lot for England. There's a lot more options there. At centre-back, obviously, the fact that Harry Maguire's getting picked so regularly makes you think that is there enough good other options? Otherwise, why would you pick Harry Maguire, who can't even get a regular game at Manchester United? You would have to say that Ben White's got to be on form. He's got to be in there with a good chance of being in the squad. But that's not how Southgate picks it, is it? As for Saka, well, I think Saka's a shoe-in, isn't he, for the squad? There's no doubt about that. Southgate obviously does rate Bukayo Saka, as we all do. And he's certainly given him a lot of caps, hasn't he, so far? He tends to play quite regularly, so you'd imagine that Saka will be in the squad. You're not sure what position he'll play, though, because let's be honest, he played left wing back, didn't he, in one of the recent games for England? Can Gareth Southgate get the best out of Saka? That's my worry. But anyway, I'm sure I think injury permitting, I'm sure Bukayo Saka will definitely be going to the World Cup. Ben White, not sure. He maybe should, but will he get picked? I'm not too sure if he will. I've got to be honest. I think Aaron Ramsdale will be in the squad as well, won't he? Again, he's probably unlikely to start too many games ahead of Jordan Pickford, but we don't know, do we? That'll probably be the England players for Arsenal, I would imagine, that get picked. So we've got a lot of players at other countries who will be going to the World Cup as well. Shane says, are you planning on stream the World Cup? Yeah, I will be. Yeah, obviously I'll do the England games, probably maybe do one or two other games as well where there's Arsenal interest. That could be quite good. So yeah, I'll definitely do. Obviously Brazil, we've got after Brazil too, haven't we? So I'll probably maybe cover a few of their games. But yeah, I will be doing some stuff in the World Cup, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. The coverage that we gave to the Women's Euros in the summer went down really well. And yeah, the big tournaments are good, aren't they? And of course, next summer we'll be covering the Women's World Cup as well. So it's a busy time, isn't it? These last couple of years, it's a busy time on the channel. It's going to be good. But yeah, we'll definitely do some World Cup stuff. And who knows? Maybe England can do well. But I haven't got a lot of confidence in Gareth Southgate, I've got to be honest. And that's the way it is, unfortunately. But anyway, that's all to come, isn't it? A little while's time. There's still a few. We've got 5 Premier League games to play before. We've got another 3 Europa League games to play as well. And of course, even when the World Cup's on, the Arsenal women will still be playing. So we'll be covering them as well. So we'll have to see how the fixtures work out and what we're doing with all of that. But yeah, it's a busy time, really, really busy time. Just because the World Cup's on, the women will still be playing, and we'll obviously be covering them, of course, as we do enjoy doing. So yeah, there'll be lots of stuff coming up anyway. Don't forget, actually, talking about the Arsenal women, tomorrow night we are back on our Friday show, the Arsenal Women's Weekly. Andreas will be joining us, Matt, Amar as well. And we'll be looking ahead to the resumption of the WSL, Arsenal away at Reading. We'll be looking at, obviously, talking about the injuries that we've had over the last couple of weeks, key injuries as well. And we'll also be previewing the start of the Women's Champions League, Arsenal away in Lyon next Wednesday, a big game, a difficult game. And we'll be looking ahead to that one as well. So that's going to be coming up tomorrow on the channel at 7:30. So it's going to be a good show, that is. So please join us if you can for that. And then, of course, Sunday, it's 2 watch-alongs, two for the price of one. Well, actually, for the price of one, for that, they're all free, but there's 2 on Sunday for you. At 1:45, we'll be covering Arsenal at Leeds, 2 o'clock kickoff, and then in the evening, 6:30, we'll be back for that Arsenal women's game against Reading. So loads of great stuff coming up, of course, on the channel. And then next week, we'll be back into the usual shows again, the Arsenal review on Monday, the social extra on Tuesday, the women's watch along in the Champions League Wednesday, Arsenal watch along in the Europa League on Thursday, PSV, of course, visiting the Emirates. That's a 6 o'clock kickoff. And then on next Friday, the Arsenal Women's Show again, and then of course go back into the watch-alongs at the weekend. So yeah, loads of stuff coming up on the channel. So if you are new and you do like the sound of any of that, please give us a like. Why not give us a like? Because it doesn't hurt. It's free of charge and it helps the channel. And also, why not subscribe as well? That's free as well, and you get a load of great free stuff, free shows to watch as well. And that will be really, really good. Obviously, there are ways that you can help us at the channel to continue to grow and to continue to be able to improve our equipment and that kind of stuff. There's super chats available, which every bit of money that we raise on the channel, whether it's through super chats, whether it's through memberships, all goes towards improving the quality of what we do. So to buy new equipment, and also as well to maybe help the people that are on the channel as well. They give their time up for the channel. It'd be nice to be able to reward them as well, wouldn't it? People like Melvin and Steve and Adam, all those kind of guys that are putting shows together for us as well. So that's what all of that kind of stuff goes to. So that's just an option for you as well. Terry says there, another bit of useless info. If Eddie scores tonight, he'll be the first Englishman to score in 5 starts in around the Europa League. Yeah, I did mention that at the beginning. I know you wasn't in there, Terry, but yeah, it'd be a good stat, wouldn't it? It'd be a good record for Eddie to get, actually. That'd be nice. John's in the chat. How are you doing, John? Good to see you. He says, hi, Richard, and everyone in the chat. Just in from work. I'm delighted to see 1-0 to the Arsenal. Yeah, it's always nice to see 1-0 to the Arsenal, isn't it? It's been a good first half. It's from both teams, actually. Bodo had 1 or 2 opportunities to score. So we haven't won this game yet. It's certainly not over. It was a slightly fortunate finish to the goal from Bukayo Saka. His shot came back off a defender and hit him and wrong-footed the keeper. But we've had 1 or 2 other near moments. But Bodo probably had the clearer chances to score. Pellegrino 1-on-1 with the keeper, put it wide. Was their biggest chance. So yeah, it's been a pretty exciting game, actually. Very similar to last week. Arsenal maybe just a little bit more quality, but Bodo have given it everything again. And yeah, hopefully you can enjoy the second half with us, John. I hope you enjoyed the Highbury Memories show last night. Highbury Matter, sorry, with all the memories from the early 1970s. That is a really great show, actually, on the channel. Melvin is doing a great job there with that particular show, and it's good to to get some older fans on with some great memories of times gone by that maybe the younger guys won't know about. Some of those stories on last night's show with Russ were really, really good. Some great memories of great days at Highbury, and of course a great time, wasn't it, the early 1970s, of course, winning the Fairs Cup and then of course the double the year after. Some really good memories last night. So if you did miss that show, it's still on the channel. You can catch up with it. It's definitely worth watching. It was really, really good, and some great stories as always. And Melvin will be back with that show in 2 weeks' time, looking at the that'll be 73 to 75, I think it is, somewhere around about there we're up to now, aren't we? So it's good. It's a really good show, and we've got some really special guests joining us as well over the next few weeks on that particular show. It is great, actually. The history of Arsenal is so important, isn't it? And apart from anything else, it's the memories that people have, the fans that were at Highbury and have witnessed all these great moments, and even moments that wasn't great at the time. They're great moments for you if you were there. I mean, I can remember so many great times at Highbury when Arsenal wasn't particularly good, but it didn't matter because those memories, now you look back on them and they're great memories, aren't they? So yeah, that's a great show. So please definitely show support for that, and definitely watch it if you can, because it's really, really good. I mean, all the shows that we do, we all do some good stuff here, don't we? But that particularly is really good. And one of the things that inspired me to start the channel in the first place was actually, to focus on the history of the club, because I feel it's so important, and to get memories of fans that have experienced all these good and bad things, and and that show just encapsulates it all, really. So yeah, definitely get behind that, because it's definitely worth it. So we are now looking forward to the second half of this game, where it's not won yet for Arsenal. We've got work to do. There's no doubt we've still got a lot of work to do. We need to get a second goal, I feel, just to really settle us down, and then I feel that will be enough. But Bodo has shown 1 or 2 moments, and you can see them scoring in the second half, Bodo. I can. The way that they've played, the threat that they've posed, especially down that left-hand side with Pellegrino. He's linked up pretty well, hasn't he, with Wembagomo on this left-hand side for Bodo. So that could be where they threaten in the second half, but we'll see. But so far, so good. We have got that 1-0 lead. and we look forward to hopefully finishing the job and then, looking ahead to the weekend. Of course, that Leeds, a really big game, an important game, a tough game, of course, as well. Leeds haven't lost at home all season, and haven't lost at home since May, actually. And they've only lost, I think, 2 or 3 games at home since Jesse Marsch took over. So it's going to be a tough test for us on Sunday, especially as well when you've had an away match in Europe. Coming back, it's been a long journey to northern Norway, and I think you come back from a game like that, and then you've got a tough away game in the Premier League. We've seen it in the past, haven't we? Arsenal have dropped points before, haven't they? On a lot of occasions when that's happened. When you've got an away game in Europe and an away game in the Premier League so soon afterwards. So yeah, it's a little bit of a tough schedule this week, but let's hope we've got enough about us to be able to get through this and get the win tonight, and then obviously get the win at the weekend as well, and then we can continue to be top of the league. Wouldn't it be great if we're still top of the league going into the World Cup? We've got 5 more league games. If you look at them on paper, and potentially they're all winnable, aren't they? I know it doesn't always work like that, but you look at it, you look at who we're playing. We've got the opportunity, haven't we, to win a lot of those games, and if we can win them all, we will go to the World Cup top of the Premier League. Well, who would have thought that at the start of the season? I certainly wouldn't. Terry says, just had a call from the old woman. The Paul Davis book has arrived. Oh, brilliant. Oh, what great news that is. And you really enjoy that, Terry, as well. You can see it's behind me on the shelf there. It is a fantastic book. And it isn't just, as we spoke about with Paul when he was on the show a week or so ago, it isn't just about his football career. There's so much more to it. And it's a really, really good read. I've read it twice now, and I'll be reading it again very soon. But we are back up and underway for the second half. We're just about to be Arsenal taking a goal to our left, which is the end where the Arsenal fans are, behind that goal in that bottom left-hand corner. Not too many Arsenal fans there today, 440 I think it is, but I've certainly been enjoying it so far. It is 1-0 to Arsenal. We are back off and underway in this second half. And Arsenal straight on the attack with Bukayo Saka. Can he keep that in? Has he managed to win the corner? I don't think he has. I think it's going to be a goal kick. But a bright start from Arsenal. But yeah, you definitely enjoy that Paul Davis book, Terry. It is amazing. And if anyone else out there hasn't got it yet, I haven't read it, you definitely get it, because it is really good. And if you did miss the show he was on, I think it was last Wednesday, wasn't it? Please check that out on the channel as well. That was a really good, great show with such a great Arsenal legend, one of our favourite ever players. But Bodo now trying to come forward early in the second half to get themselves on level terms. Up this near side with Samsted, who had a pretty decent game in that first half as well, didn't he? The other fullback. So they look a good side, Bodo. I've been impressed with them. I was impressed with them last week, and I've been impressed with them this week as well. Great stuff. And they are in possession over on that far side. Ball played back into the middle to Holbert, and it plays out to that far side. Ball played in from Pellegrino, but it's overhit. And it's nice and comfortable for Matt Turner, who throws it out quickly to Fabio Vieira, maybe a little bit too quickly, actually. And it was taken off him there by Solbakken. And now Bodo coming forward on the edge of the box. This is a good run, but good tackle, actually. I don't know if it was Martin Odegaard, maybe just got enough on that. And then Fabio Vieira has managed to win a throw for Arsenal over on this near side. But another good run there, actually, from the forward there, Esperard. And it was well defended in the end by Arsenal. But another dangerous moment there from the Norwegians, who look, I say they've impressed me. But we've got a throw on this near side. Kieran Tierney is going to take this for Arsenal, all in black tonight. That throw out the line, but it's ahead from Samsted. But Arsenal do pick the ball up again. This is good play from Reece Nelson on this near side. He's got 2 defenders for company. Does well. He gets past one. Can he find a pass? He can to Fabio Vieira. Now to Kieran Tierney. Fabio Vieira gets it back. And it's back with Kieran Tierney. And he falls back all the way to Rob Holding. And now it's with William Saliba for Arsenal. His first Europa League game for Arsenal. Nice play from Sammy Lokonga in midfield. A nice ball as well. Nketiah lays it off to Odegaard. This is good play. Reece Nelson cuts in. Is he going to get a shot away? Oh, he does, but it's a terrible, terrible shot. And it's gone miles behind. It's almost gone out for a throw. That's how bad that shot was. But yeah, Reece Nelson, it was a good move from Arsenal, actually. They got the ball out to this left-hand side. Reece cut in and hit it with his stronger right foot, but he didn't get over it at all. It went harmlessly wide of the post, and Bodo have taken that goal kick, and in fact they're coming forward now. Pellegrino is looking dangerous, but that ball again is slightly overhit, and it's run all the way through to goalkeeper Matt Turner. Just his third Arsenal appearance, one clean sheet in his previous two. Of course, that was last week against this same opposition, and he let in one goal, didn't he, in Zurich, which was a penalty. He's actually got a good record saving penalties, actually, Matt Turner. But he obviously didn't save that one against Zurich, did he? In a game that we did win at 2-1, and now we're on the brink of maybe getting a third win in a row in this competition. Oh, that was good play there. Reece Nelson couldn't quite get the ball through to Eddie Nketiah, and Bodo now will launch a counter-attack. It's been a very end-to-end start to the second half, actually. We've played 4 minutes. Both teams are coming for Solbakken now with a good ball. The cross comes in from Grombeck towards the near post, but it's cleared away it's tidied up by Kieran Tierney. Now it's cleared away. And both teams have looked dangerous at the start of the second half. Eddie Nketiah now trying to get in onto the end of that long ball, but instead it's gone back to goalkeeper Heiken, and Bodo again in possession. But yeah, very, very lively, open start to this second half it's been. And Bodo coming forward again down his near side with Solbakken. Plays the ball into the area, looking for the run there of Samsted, but it's overhit slightly, and Arsenal do clear the ball away. It's now over on that far side with Bukayo Saka, and that's into William Saliba. That's a good ball to Reece Nelson. Just lays it off to Kieran Tierney. He's probably a little bit too open at the start of the second half, probably for Mikel Arteta's liking. But Arsenal are coming forward now over on that far side. It is now with William Saliba in to Kieran Tierney. Now it's with Fabio Vieira. Nice touch there on his left foot. And it's now back with William Saliba again, coming forward for Arsenal, looking to get the second goal, which would, well, that was a loose pass actually from Saliba. And it's gone, Rob Holding couldn't control it. It's gone out for a throw to Bodo on this near side. And they're back in possession again at the Norwegians. 50 minutes played at Bodo, Glimt 0, Arsenal 1. That first half goal from Bukayo Saka. Slightly fortunate goal, but it doesn't matter. They all count. And Arsenal are leading again 1-0, as we've done so often this season so far. But Bodo are coming forward again down that far side. But that's good defending that time from William Saliba. Lays the ball off this time to Rob Holding. He's got Kieran Tierney on this near side, and he finds him. And then he plays the ball into midfield to Fabio Vieira. He's got a little bit of space. Eddie Nketiah's made a run ahead of him. Can Eddie Nketiah get there? No, he can't. The ball just didn't quite bend in enough. It's gone into the arms of the goalkeeper, Hacken, and now they're coming forward again on this near side with Samsted, the Norwegian reigning champions. Although they're probably not going to win the league this season, they are coming towards the end. They've got 6 games left. I think they have 5 points behind the leaders. So they're probably not going to be winning the league again, but they have won it the last 2 years. You can see what a confident team they are. They're coming forward again over on that far side. This is really good play again, but that ball forward there from Wembangomo didn't find its target. But again, they've picked the ball up. The loose ball there, Bodo, but Sambi Lokonga giving it away again. And then there's an opportunity for a counter-attack. Pellegrino over on that far side. Pellegrino inside the penalty. Tries a shot. Good save from Matt Turner. First time he's really been stretched in this game. Got down well to his left there, the American. But that was another good counter-attack. Pellegrino this time, he had a one-on-one in the first half. It was a poor ball from Sambi Lokonga. He was onside as well, Pellegrino. He looks dangerous. He got into the penalty area, fired a shot in, looking for that far corner. Didn't quite get enough on it to whip it in that far corner. It was a good save, actually, from Matt Turner. Went down well to his left, pushed it out. He made a couple of good saves last week, didn't he? And he's made another one there. But he's definitely keen to get himself another clean sheet. The American goalkeeper on only his 3rd Arsenal appearance, following that move in the summer, of course. Well, actually, it was in January, wasn't it? And he went back to America until the end of the season. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now with Kieran Tierney. Gets the ball back off Reece Nelson and then goes back to Rob Holding. Rob Holding again's had a decent game, hasn't he? He comes in and does a job, doesn't he, Rob Holding? He's nothing flash or clever. He just gets the job done. And that's what he did there. Nice and tidy. The Bodo fans again over on that far side, jumping about. They're certainly enjoying the occasion, aren't they? They say one of probably the biggest game in their history. Bodo Glimt playing the Arsenal in Europe. Probably would never have dreamed of that, would they? A few years ago, when they were in the third tier of Norwegian football. But here they are in the Europa League and giving it a good go against Arsenal. You have to say they've played well again, Bodo Glimt. But Fabio Vieira now plays it back to Matt Turner. We've played 53.5 minutes here in Northern Norway. It is Bodo 0, Arsenal 1. Bukayo Saka's first half goal is all that separates the sides, but it would give Arsenal put Arsenal in a commanding position in this group at the halfway stage. Rob Holding now over halfway, but goes back instead to Kieran Tierney. Arsenal have had a lot of possession in the last 5 minutes. Bodo haven't really had a kick. That's a long ball over the top, actually looking for the run of Reece Nelson. He's got him behind. Can he get a cross in? In fact, he didn't look as though he wanted to get a cross in for two reasons. One, because it was on his weaker left foot, and two, because there was no Arsenal player in the box anyway. And in the end, he waited for Samsted to come across, and he has won the corner. It's Arsenal's fifth corner of the night. Bodo have only had that one in the first half, but it is going to be a corner here to Arsenal, which Reece Nelson's going to take on this near side. Puts it in, it goes right over to the far post. Rob Holding got a head on it, but he couldn't get there. In fact, Eddie Nketiah would have probably had a better chance. But anyway, Rob Holding got there. It's put wide. Neil's in the chat. How you doing, Neil? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. He says, evening all. Hope you all are well. Yeah, we're doing not too bad at all. Enjoying another Arsenal victory at the moment. It's been a very difficult game, hasn't it, really? But anyway, we are in front, which is the main thing. Neil says they don't care about the performance, just want the points and no injuries. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what we all want, no injuries and the points. But so far, so good. We are winning and we haven't had any injuries yet either, which is good news. Also coming forward again, Kieran Tierney tries a shot from distance, but he couldn't get enough direction on it, and it's gone wide and it's gone behind for a goal kick. And another Arsenal attack comes to nothing. 10 minutes played in this second half. Bodo did that big chance just a moment ago again to get level, didn't they, with Pellegrino? And it was a decent save from Matt Turner. And it just goes to show, doesn't it, that this game isn't won yet for Arsenal. You know, we're playing pretty well. We've played well, but it's certainly not won yet, is it? And Bodo coming forward again now up this near side with Solbakken just on the edge of the penalty area. Can he get past Kieran Tierney? He's got an overlap. He cuts inside. Solbakken, just over the top. That was their best chance yet. A really good play that was there from Solbakken there. Over on this near side, the right. He cut in onto his left foot. He always looked like he wanted to do that, didn't he? He cut inside, and whipped that shot in. Beat Matt Turner, but it was just a little bit too high. And it's gone over the top. Fred says there, I don't think any players are forcing themselves into the first team. You may be right. Tony said, who scored the goal for us? It was Saka in the first half. Slightly fortunate finish, a good move, a fortunate finish, but it was Saka, his fourth goal of the season. And Neil just confirms that it was Bukayo Saka with the goal. But yeah, it's been a tough game actually. But I kind of agree with Fred. Some of these fringe players haven't really done themselves too many favours tonight. I think Fabio Vieira's done okay. But we know his quality anyway, and he's kind of right on the brink of the first team anyway, isn't he? But yeah, the other fringe players haven't done enough, have they, for me tonight? I certainly don't think Reece Nelson's done himself any favours at all. Probably Eddie Nketiah hasn't really either, has he? Rajendra says, is the pitch affecting the shooting? Well, maybe, but it's affected their shooting as well. You'd imagine that they'd be more used to it, wouldn't you? Because they play it all the time. So I'm not sure if we can use that as an excuse, because I say their shooting's been a bit off as well, hasn't it? Neil says this was never going to be easy, artificial pitch. They don't get much time to go in. No, exactly. It was always going to be difficult. Coming forward again, it's going to be an opportunity again. Oh, it's fired over the top. Espargaro there with the shot. That should have been the equaliser. It has to be said. That was their best. That was their most clear opening. A long ball over the top. It was really good play, actually. Chested down by Veltson. A really good opportunity there. He should have put that in the top corner. Instead, he's fired it over the top. That was their best chance as the rain is coming down in northern Norway. Every time they get a chance, we're saying that they won't get a better chance than that, but actually they've just had 2 better chances than the earlier one. Anyway, Arsenal now have seen enough, or Mikel Arteta has seen enough, and he's going to be making a change. Granit Xhaka is going to come on, try to maybe gain Arsenal a little bit more control. Bukayo Saka actually is going off. The goal scorer, Bukayo Saka, he did okay tonight. Martinelli's coming on as well. So there's no resting these players for the big game on Sunday. Granit Xhaka is now on, wearing short sleeves in this cold rain in the Arctic Circle. So fair play to Granit Xhaka for that. And they're just having a little reorganisation. Obviously, the fact that Saka's gone off. In fact, Fabio Vieira's coming off as well. And Martinelli, is it Fabio Vieira going off? Or is Fabio Vieira going to come and play on the right-hand side? No, Fabio Vieira isn't coming off. He's just getting new instructions. I think he's going to play on the right now. And it is actually Reece Nelson to go off. Yeah, disappointing night for Reece Nelson. I think his chances are up now in terms of him getting a place in the team or regular. I think that's it now. I wouldn't be surprised to see him going out on loan later on when the transfer window's open in January. I think he'll be off on loan somewhere. He's never going to get much of game time, is he, at Arsenal? He's just proved he's not quite good enough, unfortunately. And he's gone off. Martinelli's on. Saka's off as well, and Granit Xhaka's on. It looks like Fabio Vieira is going to go over to the right-hand side. Martinelli is going to be on the left, and Granit Xhaka is going to play with Sambi Lokonga, with Ødegaard back in that familiar number 10 position. Maybe Arteta felt as though that the different positions there didn't really work, and he's reverted to type. And, I think he's felt as though Bodo just got on top, actually. They've just gained that bit of control, and he probably feels that Arsenal need to get that back again. Neil says there, it's so obvious Xhaka is a captain. Yeah, of course it is. I don't care if he wears the armband or not. For me, he's a captain, and that's the way it is. And I don't think there's any doubt about that. Neil says there, we need to grab a second. Yeah, we've needed a second for a while. We haven't quite got it yet. Terry says there, yes, mate, sitting in the office, feet up, watching Richard, and then do a bit of work, then home. Yeah, just take it easy, mate. That's what you need to do. Don't worry about that. Neil says there, feel for Nelson, no doubt. He's a talented player, but it's never really worked out for us. Yeah, I think he is a talented player, but he's just not good enough for Arsenal, is he? I think he'd maybe be okay going somewhere else, maybe a team with less expectations and stuff. Martinelli, his first touch on this near side, we know what great form he's in. Already looking to make an impact in this game. Plays the ball square to Kieran Tierney. He plays it out to that far side to Ben White. Now Fabio Vieira, who's now playing over on that right side in the position that Saka was in. Don't know whether Saka had an injury. Has he gone off, or was it just literally just a reorganisation of the team? I'm not sure. But anyway, Saka and Reece Nelson have gone off, and Rob Holding just got that back to Matt Turner, who's kicked it long into the centre circle. Martin Ødegaard chasing after it, but it is going to be a Bodo player that brings it forward. It is actually Wemba Gumbo, who's had a good game, actually. He's got a strange name, but it's fair enough. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's not what his name is. That's how it looks to me. Wemba Gumbo. Anyway, he's played well, the left back. He's in possession again for Bodo. Plays it up the line to Pellegrino. That's a ball over the top. And again, it's going to be a chance, is it, for Bodo? Oh, Matt Turner's out of his goal there with a header. And a shot comes in first time from a long way out from the substitute Gronbeck. And it's gone well wide and high. But again, they're looking dangerous. Matt Turner's out. He's playing almost as a sweeper, Matt Turner, at times in this game. He came out there, headed that away, and the ball fell to Gronbeck about on the halfway line. And he tried a cheeky one over the goalkeeper. Actually went out for a throw. And Neil says there, we are holding on. Well, we've got Rob Holding on. So, yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, Rob Holding is on. He's played all the way through. And they're coming forward again. Bodo, that ball didn't quite go through. And William Saliba's there to tidy that up. And Arsenal can now come forward again with Ben White over on that far side. That's a ball played through. Looking for the running behind of Granit Xhaka, actually up there again. But in the end, the ball just has been played back there to the goalkeeper, who goes long up this near side. Good play, actually, from Solback. And again, he keeps it in. And But Arsenal pick up the ball with Kieran Tierney. He plays it into Eddie Nketiah. He's not been in this game, really, Eddie Nketiah, has he? Again, he's not done himself any favours. Bearing in mind, there's a slight injury doubt to Gabriel Jesus, so maybe he might have to play on Sunday, Eddie Nketiah. He'll certainly need to play better. Although he'll be up for it against Leeds, won't he? He did score twice, of course, against them at the Emirates at the end of the season, last season, didn't he? Neil says there, no pun intended. Well, yeah, but I say Rob Holding is holding on, definitely. Anyway, again, it's Bodo coming forward. They've certainly been a better team in the second half, but that ball is not a great one forward. It's going to run all the way through to goalkeeper Matt Turner. Solbakken and Pellegrino in the wide areas have looked really, really dangerous actually for Bodo tonight. And yeah, they've caused us one or two problems. Kieran Tierney now going forward. Granit Xhaka plays it in to Martinelli. Gets it back again, Granit Xhaka now into Samuel Lokonga. This is better from Arsenal. Martin Odegaard, a little bit of space. Eddie's made the run into the box. Good defending actually again from Bodo. Stop that ball getting through. That would have been Eddie's big chance he's been waiting for. And now there's another counter-attack on. It's with Veltson coming forward. Plays that ball through. It's just a little bit too far ahead there of Solbakken. Looks frustrated with the pass. He made a great run. But Veltson's ball just put too much pace on it. You know, the ball is zipping off the surface now. Of course, it's a 4G pitch. It's raining. You just got to take a little bit more off them, haven't you? You can get a good ball through. But yeah, that was just overhit a little bit. Terry says there, swap Nelson for Eze of Palace. Well, Palace aren't going to want Nelson, are they? Let's be honest. When they've got Eze, they're not going to do that, are they? We'd have to give them Nelson plus about 25 million on top, you would imagine. Because Eze is a player, isn't he? A real player. Didn't he start at Arsenal, actually, Eze? I'm sure he did, didn't he, as a kid? But anyway, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be a straight swap with it, Nelson for Eze. Certainly not from Palace's point of view. We'd take it, of course, but I can't see Palace wanting to do that. Anyway, we shall see. Neil says there, anyway, lads, going to leave you to enjoy the rest of the game. Fingers crossed we get the points. See you all soon. What do you mean you're going to enjoy the game? You're going to enjoy the game with us. That's the whole point. That's what we're here for. But enjoy the rest of your evening, Neil, anyway. We will speak very soon, of course. Long ball forward from Arsenal, looking for Gabriel Martinelli. Can he get him behind? Oh, not quite. He looked to try and flick it in towards the path of Eddie Nketiah. I think the linesman's flag was up for offside anyway, so I don't think that would have counted necessarily. But anyway, it is going to be a free kick instead to Bodo Glimt, which they've taken very quickly. They've been the better side in the second half, as they were last week, has to be said. And they're coming forward again now. See if Arsenal can get the second goal. That's a poor ball. Actually, Kieran Tierney picks it up. Now Arsenal got an opportunity here. Eddie Nketiah with a little run. And then he's pulled back. And that's going to be a yellow card surely there for, I think it was Veltson actually. Just pulled Eddie Nketiah back. And it's going to be a yellow card. In fact, it is a yellow card. Just as Eddie Nketiah threatened to get away, he just grabbed his arm, pulled him back. Clear yellow card. There was no real need for him to do that, actually. Anyway, Neil says, got too much to do. No, that's fine, mate. Enjoy. Have to multitask. Well, we all have to multitask, don't we? It's what we have to do. Enjoy what you're up to anyway. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of the game. And we'll speak very soon, I'm sure. I also got a free kick now. This could be the opportunity to get that second goal, actually, which is what we definitely need because they've caused us one or two problems in this second half, haven't they, Bodo? Anyway, it's Martin Odegaard and Martinelli over this free kick. It's going to be, it's taken quickly. Martinelli can run onto it. Odegaard now a little bit too wide and that cross in at the near post. The idea was good, the execution wasn't. But Bodo now looking to come forward themselves actually on a counter attack. It's been such an open game, this. And there's going to be opportunities. It's Veltson now on this near side. He's got Solbakken outside him. Solbakken again, probably been one of their best players, actually, I think. Solbakken's had a good game. That's a good ball as well. Across towards the far post. Good header away, though, by Ben White. Eddie Nketiah can't hold the ball up. And Bodo pick it up again. Kevin says there, has Arteta said, no hard tackling or getting stuck in due to the playing surface. Potentially, yeah. It does seem. I think the game's been a bit like that, and I think sometimes on artificial pitch you can't go flying into tackles, can you? It's just you will get injured, and I think you've got to be sensible. And I think you've got to adapt your game, haven't you? This is probably why Bodo have been the better team because obviously they're used to playing on this pitch. A wild shot comes in there actually from Espejord. It's gone high over the crossbar, and another chance has gone missing. Neil says, "Take care of yourself, mate. Take it easy." And Neil says, "Yeah." Terry says, "Night, Neil. Take care, mate." Yeah, indeed. So yeah, but yeah, maybe you're right, Kevin. Maybe that is part of it, you know. But I just don't think. I think you've got to be sensible. You can't go flying into tackles on this sort of pitch. You just can't. And there hasn't been many tackles in the game, has there? Actually, from either team, and that's why. Which actually made it a better game to watch. It's been a lot more free flowing. There hasn't been the stoppy-starty thing. There hasn't been loads and loads of free kicks. So maybe there's something in it to suggest that perhaps all games should be on artificial pitch, and it'll be better to watch. It'll be a different sort of game, but I think once we got used to it, it might be pretty good. Anyway, Granit Xhaka now in possession for Arsenal. Finds Sambi Lokonga. Gone back to William Saliba. That's out to that far side with Ben White. Now he finds Fabio Vieira, who cuts in, looking to get it onto his left foot. But actually, he's done a little bit too much there. And in fact, he's fouled by a Gromback there. And it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Tony says, is Jesus injured? Yes, he's got a slight injury, apparently. So he wasn't risked. So they didn't even take him tonight. Apparently, he's supposed to be okay for Sunday, but we'll have to wait and see. But apparently, he has got an injury. Another 2 substitutions for Arsenal, actually. Tomiyasu's coming on and Manquillos is coming on. Ødegaard's going off. Look like he's limping, actually, Martin Ødegaard. That's a bit of a worry. He did take a knock in the first half, didn't he? He gets taken off quite a lot. Ben White's come off as well. And Manquillos is on and Tomiyasu's on. So Tomiyasu's going to obviously play right back. And I'm not quite sure, actually, at this point where Manquillos is going to play. But anyway, I'm sure all will become clear very, very soon. Arsenal in possession over on that far side. It is, in fact, Manquillos. Looks like he's playing over on the right. Tomiyasu is definitely right back. I'm not quite sure where Fabio Vieira's gone. Anyway, Granit Xhaka now on his left-hand side. Picks the ball up, fires at Kieran Tierney, gets it back again. Granit Xhaka. And plays it back in to William Saliba, pings it into Vieira, who's now maybe more central. That's a nice ball up this near side to Kieran Tierney. Can he get across in? He can get across in towards the far post. It's Manquillos comes in. Oh, the second header didn't quite fall for him there. And again, Bodo clear it away, but Tomiyasu's there and plays it back to William Saliba. Tomiyasu now back in his more familiar right back position rather than the left back that he played extremely well against Liverpool at the weekend, didn't he? Terry says, yes, Tony, 2 nails through the palm of his hands. Oh, that's very good, Terry, yes. Historical joke there. A biblical joke, in fact. But no, Jesus is injured, yeah, a slight injury, apparently. Anyway, Bodo are coming forward down this near side and looking to get the equaliser, which they've been threatening on several occasions in the second half. It has to be said. But so far, Arsenal have held on and are still winning 1-0. That early goal from Saka. They're in again, are they? Oh, almost. Oh, that was a good ball, actually. And it was played in there to Velterson. Couldn't quite stretch enough to get that, but that was a good chance, actually. Again, for Bodo, they have caused us a lot of problems. And this is probably why Mikel Arteta has made these changes, because Arsenal haven't got any sort of control in this game whatsoever. And Bodo have been the better team for the majority of the second half. We played 71 minutes. Can Arsenal hold on or possibly get that second goal on the counter-attack, which you certainly wouldn't rule out, would you? And that would seal the point, seal the victory, and pretty much put us in a very, very strong position to qualify as group winners into the next stage and get that free round, if you like, where we get a bye technically. Anyway, Arsenal are coming forward now. This is nice play. Granit Xhaka inside the centre circle. He's got Martinelli just outside him. A little bit of a loose touch from Martinelli, and on this pitch, if you've got a loose first touch, you're always going to struggle then, aren't you? Because the ball runs away from you. And Terry says, sorry, I do apologise. It's my age. No, that's fine. It was a pretty good joke, actually. We wouldn't want to offend any Christians, would we, or anybody else for that matter. But anyway, humour should be allowed, shouldn't it? You know, because what are we if we've got nothing to laugh about? Do you know what I mean? People take everything too seriously these days, don't they? Anyway, Bodo coming forward. They started taking this game seriously, and again the pass though is just overhit, and it's gone out for a goal kick to Arsenal. But that was it was a ball in there from Pellegrino, and Veltenham couldn't quite get it under control. And it just ran away from him there, and it ran into the arms. Grateful arms of Matt Turner. If he'd got that under control there, that would have been a real big opportunity, actually. And he knows it as well, hitting the turf in frustration. The AstroTurf, of course, not the real turf. It is AstroTurf in this pitch here. But anyway, Arsenal taking that goal kick, have they? Matt Turner plays it out to this near side to Rob Holding, coming forward for Arsenal, plays it in to Kieran Tierney. Now Martinelli right on this near touchline. And Kieran Tierney there, put under pressure there from Solback, and it is going to be a throw to Arsenal. Coming up towards the last 15 minutes, actually. Can Arsenal hold on for this victory, which I say, would you imagine it will be enough to send us through to the next round, and hopefully as group winners as well at the halfway point of the group. We'll have 9 points, of course, if we do win this game. Anyway, there we go. Tony says there, you score with your feet and head. Well, yeah, you do, not with your hands. But obviously, if you had them nailed to a bit of wood, you wouldn't put a bit of do much, would you? We've got a comment in there, says from Alan there, how can one get an original Arsenal jersey in Uganda? Well, I'm not too sure. I mean, if you want to get it shipped over from the UK, you can get it from the Arsenal Direct website, but it's quite expensive. In Uganda, I don't know if anybody can help with that. Anyone maybe in Uganda, then please feel free to put a comment in the chat where you can maybe pick up an original Arsenal shirt in Uganda. There must be somewhere that sells them. I don't know if you have a Sports Direct in Uganda. I'm not sure. But anyway, you can probably get it there. But anyway, I'm not too sure. If someone can help with that particular query, please let us know. And Tony says, I wasn't offended. No, good. I'm glad. I mean, I say, you know, a bit of humour is always welcome, isn't it? Especially these days when there's not a lot to laugh about a lot of times, is there? Anyway, Bodo coming forward again into the last 15 minutes of this game. They will feel, and probably rightly so, that they perhaps deserve to get something out of this game, because they've had the better of the chances in the second half by quite some distance. And they're coming forward again with Veltenham. He's fouled, is he, by Rob Holding? The referee says yes, he was. Veltelson. In fact, he may well have been offside, actually. Anyway, it's going to be a substitution, actually. Espinal's gone off. He had that big chance, didn't he, to equalise at the start of the second half, fired it over the crossbar. That was their real big chance there. He's gone off now. It looks like he's limping a little bit as well, actually. And the player coming on is Salverson. Is Lars Jorgen Salverson, another Norwegian, wearing number 88, actually, which is unusual, isn't it? And he's just kind of come on to freshen up their attack for Bodo in these final 15 minutes. They look for this equaliser. Now, though, Martinelli, if we get the second goal now, you do feel as though that will be that. And that's a good tackle, actually. A good challenge comes in, and now Bodo can come away with a ball on the counter-attack. This is going to be Salverson's first opportunity to get on the ball. That wasn't a great pass, actually. Granit Xhaka cut that out. And now Arsenal can attack down on that far side. William Saliba finds Manquillos. Got himself that great goal in Zurich, didn't he, on his debut? He got an assist in that game as well. Of course, the opening game of this Europa League, where, of course, we did win 2-1. And we are now, 14 minutes away from making it 3 out of 3 in this competition this season, which would put us in a great position, wouldn't it, to go through into the knockout stage, of course, next year after the World Cup. But Bodo certainly aren't out of this game yet. And that's a long ball forward there from Rob Holding, looking for Manquillos over on that far side. Again, it's really good defending, actually, from Wembangomo. He's done well, the left back. And now Bodo coming forward again. Alan in the chat again, it says, we hope the artificial service doesn't harm the players. No, exactly, yeah, we do. I mean, there's been some substitutions already. Ødegaard looked as though he was maybe limping slightly, which was a slight concern. Saka went off as well. I don't know whether that was an injury. Anyway, let's hope that nobody else picks up any injuries. But I just feel as though when you're playing on these sort of surfaces, the recovery time's a little bit longer, isn't it, than when you play on grass? And that's a worry with the game on Sunday. But anyway, let's hope they can recover quickly. There's no injuries, and we can have a strong team and get the job done on Sunday as well. John says they're a good team. Bodo said that last week. Yeah, no, I said that last week as well. They are a good team. They pass the ball well. They play really good attacking football. And yeah, they do look a very, very good team. And, you know, I definitely want them to qualify out of this group in second place without a shadow of a doubt. And let's hope they can. They're certainly in there fighting, aren't they? They've got to play Zurich, of course, in their next game. And they'll probably be favourites to beat Zurich, won't they? So, yeah, let's see how they get on. They need to play PSV as well again, don't they? They did get a draw in the first game. PSV have got to come here. That's going to be a tough game for PSV, isn't it? If Bodo win that one, then you'd imagine they'll be through. But they've still got an opportunity to get something out of this game. They certainly haven't given this up at all, have they? Now, but Arsenal coming forward now. Kieran Tierney up his near side, plays the ball into Gabriel Martinelli, one of these substitutes. You know, Arteta isn't messing about, is he? He wanted to get these players on, and he's done that. So yeah, let's see if Arsenal can get the second goal to just ease those nerves, which have just started a little bit, haven't they? To come kick in slightly the nerves as the game kind of comes down towards its conclusion, because Arsenal haven't really played that well in the second half. We haven't really had a big chance to score, have we? It's been all Bodo Glimt's opportunities, one after the other. They've had several chances in the second half to get the equaliser, but their finishing hasn't been quite good enough, has it? And ultimately, Arsenal have been able to hang on. But yeah, there's still just over 10 minutes to play. Terry says it's got to be a lot more on your joints and grass. Exactly, yeah, that's what I mean. The recovery time's longer because it just is. I'm sure, Arsenal will have it in place, won't they, to a recovery sort of process in place, won't they, between now and Sunday? They know what they've got to do, but yeah, it can be more difficult and longer. So let's hope that that we're going to be fine. And I say the most important thing is nobody's got any injuries, and we can be fine for Sunday. Anyway, it is a goal kick to Bodo Glimt. We are now into the last 10 minutes of normal time. Time is running out for Bodo if they are going to get themselves something out of this game that you have to say that they do probably deserve. You have to be able to say that. Actually, they've played well. Anyway, there is more Europa League action, of course, tonight involving English sides. Manchester United at home to Ammonia, and West Ham are playing Anderlecht, aren't they, as well, in the Europa League. So there is other games later on tonight. But the most important thing for us is that we can hang on to this lead and put ourselves in such a strong position to win this group and keep the momentum going of the good run that we've been on and that we are on, and to take that into Sunday's game, which is going to be another tough game away from home, isn't it? A really tough game that will be at Leeds. We know what the crowd's like there. The atmosphere there is going to be incredible, isn't it? Let's hope that we can get that job done as well. But we still need to see out these last 10 minutes or so here tonight before we can think about Leeds. Still a lot of football to play. So we'll see whether we can hold on and get the victory tonight, and then who knows what position that we'll be in on Sunday. Hopefully we'll be in a good place to go on and get another 3 points and keep ourselves, of course, on top of the Premier League as well. It's been a great start to the season, let's be honest. It's been incredible, actually. And yeah, what more could we want? My stream has just gone down. I'm just trying to reconnect again and see if we can get what we want to get the game back on again. The stream's just died on me, unfortunately. But anyway, hopefully we'll be back very soon. But it is still Bodo Glimt 0, Arsenal 1, as we look to see this game through and hopefully get the points that we need. We're into the 82nd minute now. Arsenal coming forward down the far side with Manquillos. We're looking for his second Arsenal goal in the Europa League, of course, following that one in Zurich. He plays the ball back to Tomiyasu, of course, has come on at right back. I say the more natural position. Terry says there, get some pie mash and double liquor down them. Always works well on a hangover. Well, they'll have a hangover, will they? They'll just have some achy joints. And they'll just need a massage possibly. And maybe some protein and whatever it is. Whatever they do to recover these footballers these days. You know, Arsenal in possession now. Rob Holding on this near side finds Granit Xhaka, plays it square in to Fabio Vieira, gets it out to this near side to Gabriel Martinelli, who's come on as though Mikel Arteta felt as though he needed him to come on, which we didn't really want to risk some of these players getting injured, did we? Anyway, that's a good ball forward from Granit Xhaka to Eddie Nketiah. Can Arsenal get the second goal in these closing stages just to seal it and make the last few minutes a little bit less of a stress? But Arsenal have had a little bit more controlled action in the last 5-10 minutes, possibly since our substitutes and since their substitutes as well. Granit Xhaka again coming forward. Was he bundled off the ball? It doesn't matter because he's kept possession. Tried to play into the box to Eddie Nketiah, but it was Valtenson there who cleared the danger up for Bodo as we move into the last few moments here in Norway. It's Bodo Glimt 0, Arsenal 1, and Arsenal are very, very close to a third victory out of 3 in the Europa League, and that will probably seal our place in the knockout stage, as we said, and hopefully we can go on from there. But we've still got work to do. This game certainly isn't won yet. They're coming forward again over on that far side, Bodo Glimt. Every time they come forward, it's you've almost got your heart in your mouth because they have played well. You have to give them a lot of credit, actually, again, for the second week in a row. They've given a very, very strong account of themselves. That ball's played into the box. Is it going to be an own goal? Oh, almost it was there from William Saliba. He felt as though he needed to get something on it. He did. And it has gone behind for a corner to Bodo Glimt as we move into the last 7 minutes here, 6 minutes of action here in northern Norway. It is Bodo still 0, Arsenal 1. That goal from Bukayo Saka, which actually seems a very, very long time ago now, doesn't it? Well, it was. It was in the 24th minute. Arsenal coming forward on this near side with Granit Xhaka, plays it in to Thomas Partey, who's come on now, actually. Well, the stream had gone down. It keeps going down. I'm not sure what's going on. It keeps going down the stream now for some unknown reason. Anyway, let's have a look. Terry says there, come on, Eddie, 5 minutes to get your record. Yeah, indeed. He hasn't had a chance, has he, in the second half? He hasn't really had one big chance to score. He's just dropped deep there to get the ball. Thomas Partey now plays it out to that far side to Tomiyasu. I didn't see who Thomas Partey came on for, actually. I'm kind of guessing Sambi Lokonga by the look of it. But I didn't see that substitution because it must have happened while the stream's been down. There's a few issues going on that side of things. But anyway, Arsenal are coming forward now. The ball's played back low to, it was Sambi Lokonga who's gone off. And Thomas Partey comes on. And we are now into the final 4 minutes here in northern Norway. It is Bodo still 0, Arsenal 1. But it's certainly a nervy finish to this game from Arsenal. Bodo have given everything again, the second week in a row. They've come against Arsenal, played their football. And, you maybe feel over the 2 games they deserve something, haven't they? They've not even managed to score a goal as yet. But anyway, Arsenal are very, very close now to getting a point. So are they, though? Suddenly coming forward now, Bodo. Good defending there, though, from Tomiyasu. No messing about from him, and he's found Gabriel Martinelli, who turns at pace, runs at the Bodo defence and pings the ball over to that far side to his fellow Brazilian, Marquillos. Is this going to be the moment for Arsenal? Manquillos on the edge of the penalty area. Is he going to try and get a shot away? Oh, it was a poor ball, actually. I think he was looking for Granit Xhaka, but he's overhit it. Maybe not quite used to the surface, the young Brazilian. It was a good run from him, though, actually. Again, he's done really well. But that wasn't a great ball. And that's gone out for a throw. The ball's now back with the goalkeeper, Hiking, who goes long up towards halfway. Rob Holding wins that header, falls to Kieran Tierney. He forces the ball on. But it's played up this near side. There's no Bodo player there. Rob Holding will tidy this up. We have now got 3.5 minutes of normal time remaining. There's going to be a little bit of stoppage time. You would imagine the substitutions have been, there hasn't actually been any injuries again. But again, it's because of the surface, I feel, there hasn't been many big tackles, has there? But Mark Rinos there has just conceded a free kick going up for that header there with Awembangomo. And he's got in the back of the Norwegian defender. And it is going to be a free kick to Bodo. Time is running out for the Norwegians if they are going to get something from this game, something dramatic in these closing few moments here. We're into the last 3 minutes of normal time. But they've got a free kick over on that far side, which they've taken quickly. Go back, the ball played back to Holbrechten, plays it into midfield. Bodo now, they're running out of time if they're going to get this equaliser, but they are on the attack now. Coming up this near side with Samsted. But again, Arsenal good out of possession, closing down the spaces, forcing Bodo back. That's what we need to do. We need to keep the ball up this end of the pitch for these final few minutes. We're now coming up to the 88th minute. He's back with goalkeeper hacking for Bodo. The Russian goes long into the centre circle, and it's actually a foul there by William Saliba. It's going to be a free kick to Bodo. That was a substitute. Salverson there was fouled, and a yellow card actually for William Saliba. In fact, for Thomas Partey. I don't know what he got a yellow card for. Was it for complaining? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, Thomas Partey's got himself a yellow card. He's only been on the field about 5 minutes. And it is now a free kick inside the centre circle to Bodo. We're going to make 2 more substitutions. Number 18, Mo, is coming on. And it is going to be Solbakken coming off, who's had a good game, actually. It's not. It's Holbrecht, the defenders, going off. Mo is coming on. Breda, Mo, and Pellegrino's coming off as well. He's had a good game. Missed a couple of big chances, didn't he, to get the equaliser. He's gone off. And who's come on for him? It is Mavuka's come on. Not Nuno Mavuka. It's Joel Mavuka, sorry. So they're their last 2 substitutes. We're into the last minute of normal time. Are we going to get a dramatic finish here, or is it going to finish 1-0? 1-0 to Arsenal, of course, a familiar scoreline, of course, especially in Europe, which is where it all started back in the day, wasn't it? In a European game away from home in Paris all those years ago, 1994, of course, the Cup Winners' Cup semi-final. Last time we won a European trophy, that wouldn't it be long overdue, wouldn't it, to win another one? Of course, there's a long way to go in this competition if we're going to win it. Let's concentrate for the time being on winning this game, winning this group, and going from there. We're going to find out how much stoppage time is going to be. We're just coming up to the 90 minutes now, so we will find out. I'd say 3 minutes, maybe 4 at a push, but possibly only 3, mainly for the substitutions, because there hasn't been a trainer on the pitch. It's been that sort of a game. Very open, very exciting, lots of chances. It was going to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. Yeah, I kind of thought there possibly would be. And Bodo in possession. So they've got 3 minutes to find this equaliser. Arsenal have got 3 minutes to hang on to try and see this game out and get the 3 points, which is going to be so important. But Bodo coming forward again, but Rob Holding's there, clears the ball away. He does do a solid job, Rob Holding, when he's called upon. But as we mentioned earlier, always a mistake there by the goalkeeper. It's going to be a chance. Oh, what brilliant defending that was. The goalkeeper came out there under pressure from Mark Quinos. He couldn't get it from Eddie, sorry. He couldn't get the ball under control. The goalkeeper. It looked as though Eddie was going to have a simple tap-in. But it was great defending from Loader. And now Bodo on the counter-attack. We're looking for this equaliser, but that was a poor ball. That's gone behind for a goal kick. But there was an opportunity there for Eddie Nketiah. He hasn't had a chance to score a goal in the second half. But that was almost the one there. He got in behind. The goalkeeper came out, didn't get there. But it was good tidying up from Loader, the defender there. Arteta's getting a little bit animated on the touchline, actually. I'm not quite sure what the issue is there with Mikel Arteta. It's a goal kick which Matt Turner is going to take. He's in no rush to take it, actually. We have played a minute of stoppage time, and we've got 3 to play. Remember, in fact, the referee's just got his yellow card out. Has he booked Matt Turner for time wasting? Quite possibly. He didn't want to rush to take that goal kick. In fact, he has booked Matt Turner for time wasting. Anyway, can Arsenal get the second goal now? Almost in there, Eddie again, but he just managed to get the ball clear the Bodo defender, and now they're coming forward themselves. They're not going to get. Are they going to get one more big chance? That ball's almost played through the middle there. Good defending from Rob Holding. And Arsenal now trying to play their way out of trouble, and they do. Granit Xhaka finds Thomas Partey over on the far side. He plays it out to Tomiyasu, and Tomiyasu goes back to William Saliba. We are the last minute of stoppage time. Arsenal almost there. 9 points out of 9 on the board in this Europa League. Kieran Tierney plays a long ball forward towards Eddie, and can he get there? No, he can't. It just bounces off the surface. Once the ball bounces, you're in trouble, aren't you? That bounced and flew through to the goalkeeper. Now, Bodo coming forward. This will probably be their last opportunity to get this equaliser. That ball's played up the far side. It is at the defender, Wemba again, and he's won a corner. They are going to get a corner at the end. It was Manquillos there with the defensive work, and it is going to be a corner. The goalkeeper, Hackins, coming up as well. This is going to be a dramatic finish here. We're into the final 10 seconds of the 3 minutes of stoppage time. It is now or never for Bodo. This corner is going to be played in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It comes in. Matt Turner punches it clear. It hasn't really gone clear yet. A volley comes in. The ball is in the net by Bodo, but it won't count. There was a foul there. The 2 goalkeepers actually involved in a little discussion. They are not quite sure what happened. It was a dangerous corner actually, and Matt Turner had to come and punch that. He was under pressure from the goalkeeper who fell into him. The whistle went. The ball did end up in the Arsenal net, but it isn't going to count. The referee's whistle had already gone. We have now played 3.5 minutes of stoppage time of the 3. You'd imagine that once this goal kick comes into play from Matt Turner, then that will probably be that. And in fact, there goes the full-time whistle. It is over. Arsenal have got the job done. Not in the most convincing fashion, it has to be said. But when you come away from home in Europe, getting a win is all that matters. Bodo are a good side as well. Difficult conditions, difficult pitch. Bodo played well. But ultimately it finished here. Bodo, Glimt 0, Arsenal 1. Arsenal have now got a very good advantage at the top of Group A. Massive favourites to qualify as group winners now, which is great. And we march on. John says a good win. Some good players on that Bodo team. Would they make it in the Premier League? I think 1 or 2 possibly could do. Martin Odegaard is having some chats there with some of them. He obviously knows them pretty well from Norwegian football. Kevin said, safe and sound, good game. Just hope all is okay on injuries. Yeah, that's the main thing, isn't it? We made a lot of substitutions in that second half. Was it down to injuries or was it just down to resting players and giving players a rest, really? Rajendra says we let ourselves down, not our usual 3 goals. No, it wasn't. We got that one. A lucky goal it was as well, let's be honest. A fortunate ricochet off Bukayo Saka, but we'll take it, obviously. Terry says hats off to Bodo. Wasn't the 2 easy wins we thought we were getting before the first game, but 2 good wins on this. Exactly, yeah. We are currently 5 points clear at the top. PSV will be playing Zurich, of course, later on. They've got the object to close that gap to 2 points if they win. And we are now 5 points clear of Bodo with a game in hand. So, yeah, we're in a very good position, aren't we? John says there 9 points, important to finish top. Exactly, it's really important to finish top due to the fact that you get a bye in the next round, don't you? Fred says there hopefully no more fake pitches this season. No, it depends on who we get, I guess, who we get drawn against later on in the competition. But, yeah, a lot of the Scandinavian teams have artificial pitches, don't they? It's the way it goes. John says there, good run out before the game against Leeds. Yeah, well, let's hope it's proved to be a good run out. There's no injury problems. We've got a victory. That's the main thing, isn't it? We have won the game by 1-0. A familiar score, but and a familiar victory for Arsenal. But, yeah, a good win. Rajendra says there, I play walking football on 2G, 3G and 4G pitches. Yeah, I play football on 4G. Played last night, actually. But, yeah, I don't mind playing it personally, but it takes more recovery time than playing on grass. I play on grass as well on a weekend, and it is more on your joints and stuff like that. So yeah, it will be a little bit more difficult to recover from this game physically for the guys before Sunday's game. Let's hope that everyone's going to be fine, and we can go to Leeds and get the job done there. But that's not going to be an easy game, is it, by any stretch of the imagination? So, let's not assume it will be. Agenda says I'll find it okay, but obviously it was a challenge. Yeah, of course, but that's what it is, isn't it? I guess. But it was a challenge for Arsenal tonight, certainly in difficult conditions in northern Norway. The rain as well wouldn't have helped the surface. It makes it more difficult on a Astro pitch when it's raining. But yeah, it was. We got the job done. I thought second half we struggled a little bit, didn't we? We struggled to get any control of the game. We struggled to get our rhythm going. And in the end, Bodo had the chances, didn't they, to win that or to get something from the game. Not necessarily win it, but certainly they deserved a draw, I thought, tonight, Bodo. They had 3 or 4 big chances in that second half, didn't they? And they needed to be more clinical, really, didn't they? And that was their problem last week. They had some chances, didn't they? It wasn't clinical enough. And it was a fortunate goal, but anyway, we will take it. John says there, well done in the coverage, Richard. It was live in Ireland on Virgin Media, but I listened to your excellent commentary. Thank you very much, John. Thank you for tuning in again. It's good to see you again. You're becoming a bit of a regular in the chat, which we like. I'm glad that you're enjoying what we do. Look forward to hopefully seeing you again over the weekend if you're around we've got 2 watch-along Sunday, the Leeds game in the afternoon and then in the evening, the Arsenal women away at Reading. John says Astro pitches are hard on ankles. Yeah, they are. They're hard on all your joints, but yeah, knees as well. I find that's probably just my age, though. Probably. Kevin says saying we let ourselves down. No, we haven't. It's the same. It's the same team, only in name. I don't like it when supporters moan about not scoring 3. Totally different team from our normal. No, it is. You're right. It is a different team, and I wasn't expecting us to score 3 goals, if I'm honest, tonight. 1, because it's an Astro pitch, and 2, because Bodo are a good side. They are a good side, and we saw that last week, and we've seen it again tonight. And getting 6 points against them is good because, they're going to pick up points in this group. And let's hope they can finish second because they certainly deserve it from what I've seen. Agenda says for Arsenal, I find these pitches in particular safer to play on than grass pitches, as the grass pitches we have are full of holes. I do think in the Premier League, the grass pitches are really good, aren't they? And I don't think that's really an issue. I do feel as though they're better off playing on the grass pitches, but we've had the game tonight. We got the job done, and I say as we've said, let's hope there's no injuries because it's tough, isn't it? These pitches, as we said, but ultimately we have won the game. But no, I've been impressed with Bodo. Both games that they've played well. I like the way that they play. Their style of football is good to watch. They create chances. They're not, they wasn't scared, was they? They came to the Emirates last week. They wasn't scared. They didn't go into themselves. They came out and played football tonight. A really big game from at home in front of their passionate fans, and their fans will be proud of that performance. I'm sure the players will be proud of that performance, and the manager will as well, because they gave everything out there, didn't they? And they played well, and they were unlucky not to get something from that game. And it's a good victory for Arsenal. A little bit fortunate, but we got the job done. John says they are tough opposition. They are, yeah. They beat Roma last year. They're hard to beat at home. Yeah, indeed. They beat Celtic as well. So yeah, they are a decent side, and that's the first time they've lost at home in Europe for a very long time, I believe, as well. Kevin says there, thanks, Richard. Another good broadcast. No, thank you very much, Kevin, again for tuning in, mate. Good to see you. Hope you're keeping well. Maybe might speak again over the weekend if you're around for either the games that we're doing. Don't forget, tomorrow night we are back with the Arsenal Women's Show. We've got the panel in Andreas, Amar, and Matt. And we're going to be looking ahead to the resumption of the WSL back again this weekend, of course, following the international break. We'll talk about the international break as well. Of course, the big Lionesses game against America that was played. The injuries that Arsenal women have suffered as well over the last few weeks. Some key injuries there. So we'll look at that, look into the Reading game. And, of course, next Wednesday, Arsenal women start a Champions League campaign away at Holders Lyon. So a difficult start. As it was last year, we played the Holders, didn't we, last year? Barcelona in the first game away. We've got the Holders again away in our first game next week with a few injuries as well. It's not going to be easy, that. But we will look ahead to that game as well. And I say Sunday, we have got 2 big watch-alongs for you. Arsenal versus Leeds, a 2 o'clock kickoff at Ellen Road. That is going to be a big game now, isn't it? Can Arsenal can we keep ourselves top of the league? And then I say Sunday evening, 6:45 kickoff. Arsenal women again top of the league as well, away at Reading. I say a couple of injury problems to overcome, and let's hope that we can get a victory there as well and end this weekend. That's still on top of 3 leagues. You know, the Europa League group, the Premier League, and the WSL. Let's hope so. John says I thought Turner was okay. He's still nervous enough. But should build more confidence as time goes on. Yeah, 2 clean sheets in a row now, isn't it? You know, I thought he looked really nervous in the first game in Zurich. I thought he was not too bad last week. He had a few moments, made a couple of good saves. Tonight he made a really good save, didn't he? And he looked okay. And yeah, he's looking an okay backup, isn't he? And let's face it, that's all he's going to be. He's only going to play a few of these Europa League games, the Carabao Cup, possibly the FA Cup, maybe, depending on how far we go into the competition, because, you know, once we get through the first couple of rounds of the FA Cup, then potentially we'll play our strong team again, won't we, to try and make it through. Regina says, I don't have a chance to play on good grass pitches. It only available in the parks and airport. No, you're right, yeah. I mean, the pitches I play on, the grass pitches, aren't very good normally. We had a good one last week, actually. But yeah, it is what it is. The professional pitches are really good, aren't they? So there's not a problem there. Terry says, yes, I agree with John. Great commentary again, Richard. I've got to do some work and then off home. See you tomorrow. Good night, all you gunners in the chat. Take care, chaps, and see you soon. Yeah, and yourself, Terry. Enjoy your work that you've got, and hopefully you'll have a good enjoy the rest of your evening. And then I say, hopefully, yeah, join us tomorrow for the women's show. That'll be good. Be good to see you again, as always. And yeah, that's going to be a good show. A lot to look forward to this weekend. Some big matches to be played. And Arsenal say top of the league in 2 leagues. It's a good time, isn't it, to be an Arsenal fan at this moment in time. We're enjoying it. I hope all you guys are enjoying it as well. I'm sure you are. There's nothing better, is there, than seeing your team winning games and being top of the league. It's been a long time, hasn't it, since certainly the men's team have been anywhere near the top of the league, really. So it's nice. And say 10 games in on Sunday, what do they say? You don't judge a team until you play 10 games. Well, we would have played 10 games on Sunday. If we're still top of the league, well, there you go. Then we can start looking and thinking, you know what? Maybe this is our season. General says that the best grass pitch was at Northampton, but it was not watered where it was dry and hard. Yeah, when it's in the summertime, they are pretty bad. In fact, they're worse, aren't they? The hard grass pitches are worse on your ankles and on your joints. That's why in the Premier League they water the pitches so much, because it just makes it so much better, doesn't it? John says, good night, Terry. Save home, up the Gunners indeed. So it has finished then here in northern Norway in Bodo. Bodo, Glimt 0, Arsenal 1. It wasn't the best Arsenal performance. Difficult pitch, of course, as we've said, difficult conditions, but we got the job done. It was a first half goal from Bukayo Saka. It's a good move, actually. A nice 1-2 with Samuel Congo on the edge of the penalty area. But the finish was really, really fortunate. The ball, it was a tackle by the defender, and the ball bounced back off Bukayo Saka and wrong-footed the goalkeeper, and it went into at the near post. And that proved to be the only goal. It maybe shouldn't have been, because Bodo, certainly in the second half, had a lot of chances, didn't they? Pellegrino had a one-on-one in the first half, put it wide. He had another one-on-one in the second half, a decent save from Matt Turner. They had 1 or 2 other chances as well. Espararo sent one over the top of the crossbar when he should have hit the target. So, yeah, we were maybe fortunate to win that game. I think we've got to be honest and say that. Bodo played well. They're a good side. And I personally hope that they get through to the next round, because I think they deserve it. They've given us 2 good games. They're an exciting team to watch, enjoyable. It's a good game tonight. Only 1 goal, but it was an exciting game to watch. There was a lot of good attacking football, very open game. There was chances at both ends. Second half, we didn't create too much, did we? A little bit frustrated with our performance. Eddie will be frustrated. He never got an opportunity to score again for the 5th Europa League start in a row. And yeah, it was a tough second half, but ultimately we got the game done. Some of the fringe players, as we mentioned earlier, maybe didn't do themselves a lot of favours. Reece Nelson didn't have a great game, did he? Got taken off in the second half. Eddie never really got in that game at all. Didn't have any impact whatsoever. I thought Rob Holding did okay. Again, solid at the back, isn't he? He doesn't do a lot wrong, does he? He played okay. Samuel Congo did okay as well. But again, no one did enough to suggest that, oh, they can start in the Premier League. None of them did really, did they? Unfortunately. John says, good night, Richard. Good night, all. Look forward to Sunday. Thank you, mate, for tuning in again. Always a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your week, and yeah, see you Sunday. Hopefully, if you're around, it'll be good to see you again. Hopefully, that'll be a good game. Regenda says, we put their striker under pressure and they had to be quicker. That's why they played a difficult score. No, I think it was partly that. They did have two really big chances, didn't they, in that second half that they should have scored, really. And we were a bit fortunate, but we'll take it. And I think sometimes when you're in a good run of form, those things go your way. The striker doesn't score, the goalkeeper makes a save, or they don't get the finish. And we were lucky, but I don't care if we're lucky or not. It's just good that we've got the win, 9 points out of 9, and we're heading onwards and upwards as we have been. Regenda says, come on the Gunners, indeed. So that is that then for tonight. Arsenal did win 1-0, but Bukayo Saka with the goal in the first. Seems like a long time ago he scored, doesn't it? But it was 24th minute, so I suppose it was quite a long time ago. But it has finished Arsenal 1, or Bodo did Arsenal 1. Very good win for Arsenal, even if a little fortunate, and well played Bodo. So I've enjoyed watching them the last couple of weeks, and we're looking out for their results now in the rest of this competition. Hopefully they'll go through. And who knows, they could cause a few upsets along the way. So fair play to them. Their manager looks as though he knows what he's doing. He could end up in the Premier League at some point. Do you remember when we played that team from Sweden, Ostenstads in the Europa League? Who was their manager? Graham Potter. Look where he is now. They gave a great performance against Arsenal, didn't they? They won at the Emirates, if you remember. So keep a look out for this Bodo Glimt manager. He may well turn up in the Premier League one day as a coach, because he certainly got his team well coached there, hasn't he? With a couple of better quality players, they could well have got a result in both of the games against us. So they're one to look out for, aren't they? So yeah, well played Bodo Glimt. And Herman, our friend from Norway, has been in the chat a couple of times. Hopefully he'll be in on Monday and we can have a little chat about the game. But yeah, obviously big games coming up now, isn't there? As I say, tomorrow we've got a women's show at 7:30. And then Sunday, the 2 watchalongs. 1:45 we'll be live for the Arsenal Leeds game, and 6:30 we'll be live for the Arsenal women at Reading. So please join us for all of that. And Regenda says, a good win. It was a strange game. Even Martinelli had some problems. Yeah, it was. It's the pitch, wasn't it? We're not used to it, are we? It was a strange game, but we won, and that's all that matters. Ultimately, I'll take a few dodgy performances if we're going to scrape 1-0 wins. That's all we need to do. But yeah, we got the job done, and that's all that matters, isn't it? So so thanks to all you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. All your comments as well, fantastic. It keeps me entertained through the game. I hope I keep you entertained as well. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like as well, because that does help the channel to grow. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing as well. If you like any of the stuff that we do, don't forget to check out the Hybrid Matter show from last night, because that was brilliant. Really enjoyed that. So hopefully you can get to watch that, because it was good. And that's on again. They'll be back in 2 weeks' time for the next edition. Melvin is doing a great job there. So thanks to all you guys for watching. It's been a fun game. Not as many goals as we maybe thought, but we got the job done. We won the game, top of the group, 9 out of 9. We move on now to Leeds. Let's hope we can recover and get another 3 points on Sunday. Let's hope so. So it did finish Bodo 0, Arsenal 1. Regenda says there they also kept our forwards from being legal. Well, they didn't score, did they? Which is good. Another clean sheet for Matt Turner, who played all right tonight. I quite enjoyed it, actually. Regenda says, bye, Rich, great show. Yeah, thanks, mate. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully we will see you again tomorrow if you're around for the women's show. That'd be good, wouldn't it? So yeah, thanks all you guys. I will see you tomorrow at 7:30. If you're not around for that, join us on Sunday. 2 watch-along Sunday, 2 for the price of 1, which is free, but that's what it is. It's 2 for the price of 1 Sunday. It's going to be busy for me. I'll have to rest my vocal cords, drink a lot of tea, and hopefully it'll be 2 good games, 2 good victories for Arsenal. Let's hope so. But it's finished 1-0 tonight. We enjoyed that. A good game, exciting stuff. And Arsenal are well on the way to the knockout stage of the Europa League once again. And yeah, top of everything. What a great time to be an Arsenal fan. We're enjoying it. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good Friday. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow or Sunday. In the meantime, as always, come on, you Gunners. Come on, Arsenal. Top of the league. Speak to you soon, guys. Take it easy.
Box Gabriel Martinelli. It's now with Granit Xhaka. Is it going to be the third goal? It is the third goal. Granit Xhaka with it. That seals it.